Hello gang, you alright? Let's get some music going. How's it going? It's the final render here coming at you, an hour earlier today. A single hour earlier means an extra hour of content. You doing alright? I'm just going to see what happens with an extra hour or so of content, because this is actually going to be a designing stream where we're going to be designing the interior bar. And obviously the designing aspect takes a very long time, and it's important to get right, especially now. I'm probably going to be doing a lot more of the mod outside of streaming, because obviously we kind of have a deadline to get it done now. So therefore I would like to go ahead and spend maybe an extra hour or so with the designing phase. Let me go ahead and turn this fan off, actually, it's probably really annoying. And then we can go ahead and see what's up. So, you alright? How's it going? Who have we got in the old chat right here? Let's see who we've got. Jonah Bergson is here. Hello there, matey. Callum Sloan is here. Shazam. My gosh, what an awesome name right there. Radiation King, Marshall Shanklin. And Late to the Fallout is here. Hey, Late to the Fallout. One of our fantastic YouTube sponsors right there. And also moderator of the Final Render Discord. Go ahead and find a link to the Discord in the description if you want to go ahead and try that. And Thomas Hughes is here. Hello there, Thomas. How's it going, matey? We've also got Solstry as well, saying, yo, Render, should I get New Vegas? Yeah, go for it. Go for it. It's pretty darn cheap, and it's a good game. Very good game. And we're obviously going to be working on our Diamond City mod, and it's actually an entirely new cell. I've actually pre-made the cell and stuff like that, because that's a bit boring, and nothing really too exciting. But this is the first part of our brand new cell. This little bit of wooden floor in here is going to eventually turn into an enormous bar of delight, joy and fun and merriment and alcohol and falling over and getting arrested and having arm wrestling matches with your bros and all that stuff and all that other fun merriment stuff. That's what people do in bars, right? I don't know. And hopefully we can go ahead and get some cool new people in here today as well. Obviously, the actual building streams don't do as well as, say, like the kind of normal gameplay streams, but, you know, we've been doing this for a long time. This is, what, episode 41 now. Episode 41. That is a very long project, to say the least. But, you know, we've only got, like, what, 2 more interiors to do, then we can move on to NPCs, and that won't take too long at all, really. I don't even know if I'll stream the NPCs and stuff like that. We'll do it once, probably, but then after that, it'll probably just be kind of copy and paste, you know what I'm saying? But what else are people saying, though? Let's go ahead and have a quick look at what people are saying. Jonah Bergson says, you are the best, Render. Oh, thanks, buddy. But hey, it's all down to you, really, isn't it? And we've also got Kung Fu Kitten right here. Saying, you ever just nut dog meat? Well, you mean punch dog meat. Considering your name is Kung Fu Kitten, I presume you're talking about dogs and cats fighting each other, and not the other thing. But the Lost Ranger is also here saying, hello, I just saw your post on the Discord. There we go. See, people in the Discord are coming and joining in the stream as well. Go ahead and follow the Discord if you want to talk to me and other people in the Final Render community. And I'm going to have one more question before we start our fantastic stream with our share spike. Let's get the share spike going so we get as many people watching the stream as possible. I'll go ahead and do it the same myself. And I will go ahead and answer this one question. Callum Soane says Star Wars or Star Trek? I'm going to have to say Star Wars because I've never really given... I'm going to be share spiking on Twitter, by the way. So, I've never really given Star Trek much of a chance, and every time I have watched it, I found it quite boring. But then again, I haven't really watched it too many times. The only real Star Trek I've sat down and probably tried to enjoy were the movies, you know, the later movies, kind of reboot ones. Thought it was dull. Couldn't get into it. I'm really sorry. I think I actually fell asleep in the first one, but then again, it was late. Second one, I turned it off halfway through because I was quite bored. I mean, it's okay if you do like them. Like, realistically, I love sci-fi, and I know I should like Star Trek. But that's coming from someone who hasn't really given the TV show a chance. You know what I'm saying? So, really, it's kind of an unfair argument. So, we are live streaming right now. Come check it out. And tweet. That's my part of the share spike done. The fantastic share spike, might I add. How about you guys go ahead and do the same? Get the share spike going so we get as many people watching as possible. Right, okay. So now that's done. How about we do what we did last time we did this? How about we do what we did last time, which is go ahead and grab all the walls from the actual exterior and then bring it into here. Okay, so let's go to our Diamond City exterior. Oh man, that Dr. Pepper is so good. It's pretty hot today. It hasn't been too bad during the day. Ooh. Ooh, little spinning blue circle. We don't like the little spinning blue circle. And now this. Okay, well, it's looking like the creation kit is crashed. It does that, unfortunately. We needed to go somewhere else anyway. Right, let's just go ahead and open it up again. Alright, so seeing as it is crashed, what else are people saying, though? Let's go ahead and see what people are saying while we re-wait for the creation kit to open. Aguda says, I love these streams. I get to learn about the creation kit while being entertained. That's definitely been the plan. You know, the main reason why I wanted to stream this project in particular has been because it's a huge project. You know, we're on episode 41 of this project, and we honestly couldn't have done it without live streaming it. That's quite literally the honest answer. So it's really good to go ahead and do this. I've learned a lot about the creation kit since using it. And if you guys can learn something by watching me, you know, building it as well, then that's fantastic. Because it's actually not too bad. It's just very, very intimidating once you start up, you know what I'm saying? Lost Ranger says, the spinning blue circle is better than the blue screen of death. Well, that's true, I suppose, you know, I guess that is something. But it is what it is. And Solstry says, I'm going to switch to my alt YouTube on my PC for maximum effort. Okay, I don't really know why you're doing that. Just a reminder to people, please don't be subscribed on 2 different channels or so, unless you actually do use 2 different channels. Because it doesn't really help the YouTube channel too much if you do that, you know what I'm saying? At one point I had someone messaging me saying, I've subscribed to your channel with these 8 different accounts. And I'm like, please don't do that, buddy. That doesn't really help me. Because it doesn't increase the amount of views. It definitely doesn't help me in the YouTube algorithm and stuff. Okay. And Sharazam says, oh my lord, look at his desktop. It's not that bad, is it? I mean, we've got this, just the old thumbnail of one of the older videos. What I like to do, I like to put the previous thumbnail of the last video or stream I did as the desktop, because that's kind of a reminder of the last video I did. So if I look at this thumbnail and go, ooh, that was a few days ago, I know I really need to go ahead and make some more videos, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of why I do that. And everything else is not too bad. We got loads of image and Photoshop files I can get rid of, I suppose. Every time I make a thumbnail, I just basically put the Photoshop file onto the desktop and then the PNG, or JPEG, sorry, onto the old desktop. Shouldn't do that, but it is what it is. Alright, so we've loaded up our mod again now. Very sorry about the little crash there, but it is what it is. Now, what else are people saying, though? Gareth Hole says, yo, how are you? I'm not too bad, thanks, Gareth. Thank you very much. Although I am curious to know how the heat is going to affect me during this live stream. Because we are doing an extra hour. As I've already said, you know, since the designing phase typically takes a long time, and I'm going to be doing more stuff off stream, I want to make sure we get this stuff right. But anyways, we were going to our Diamond City exterior. And what we're going to do, we're going to copy the exterior building, walls and stuff, and doors and windows, etc. And then that is our floor plan and stuff for the mod already done. You know, we did it with the player home interior, and it actually worked really well. I was worried that it would be too small on the inside if we did it that way. But it actually still gave us enough space to work with. So we're going to try to do the same for here. We're going to try to literally just build our bar to the exact specifications to the outside. Because often with modding, it is still loading, by the way. I apologize if you guys are just looking at a blank screen, but it is still loading. A lot of the things that mods do is that the interior of a building is often much bigger than what the outside should allow. You know, it's kind of like Doctor Who's TARDIS or, you know, Mary Poppins' handbag. There's much more room on the inside. And we really, really don't want to go ahead and do that. We would like it to be as true to real life as possible, meaning that the inside is the same size, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Oh, really crack that right there, crack the neck right there. Alright, so what have you all been up to today as well? You know, right now I'm just basically making conversation while it's loading. Here we go. Alright, so here is the Diamond City that we have been building for this entire mod. It is obviously a huge city expansion. Building an entire city on top of the regular city. It pretty much doubles the city in size. And we are going to be working on our bar cell right back here. It should be 3 floors or so. And we're going to copy and paste all of it. Alright, so we only need the walls. The windows would be helpful, I suppose. And we also need the doors and stuff. But this probably will still take a long time. So let's just go ahead and start copy and pasting, shall we? And try our best to not mess it up. If we accidentally click on the wrong thing, then we're going to start all over again. And we don't want that. Not in this lifetime. Not now. Not ever. So let's just go ahead and do it slowly, one bit at a time. Oh, also hit record as well. I do go ahead and obviously edit these as regular videos as well. So let's go ahead and make sure that we don't slip up on the recording. And just try to grab everything in one go if possible. It doesn't matter if I grab too much, as long as I don't miss stuff, you know? Go ahead and grab all the walls I don't need that, actually. That's the exterior balcony. We obviously only need to match the interior side of it. And another thing about doing this as well is that it means the walls and floors are pretty much already done straight away. You know, we don't have to mess around too much with the walls and floors. The kind of main part of the floor and walls is already done. There'll still be little things we have to do, like we'll have to go ahead and adjust little bits and pieces in order to make things like door frames and stuff fit. But we'll do our best to try to get it to work all in one go. Yeah, these lights are causing a problem. These lights are obviously emitting a light beam, which is invisible to what we can currently see in the creation kit because we have the light systems turned off. So therefore, I'm accidentally clicking on some of these lights, and I don't want to do that. Oh, don't do that. Yep, and there's our first mess up. There's our first mess up right there. Start again. You see why I wanted to spend an extra hour doing this, people. Just to get it right first time. I wish there was a way I could just grab it all in one, so to speak, but since it isn't grouped, I can't do that. I probably should have grouped it in hindsight, but then again, I can't think... Either way, I would still have to go ahead and click on everything individually at one point, wouldn't I? Might be an idea to do it here at some point, actually. We spent ages building this place, you know. It took, what, 3 streams to go ahead and build this entire part of the city right here? And now we're just going to go ahead and start working on the inside, and that'll probably be, well, at least 1 stream, maybe more. Depends how long it's going to take to actually stream the thing. There we go. See, don't want to click on the lights because we don't need them. It doesn't matter if we click on the lights, I suppose, as long as we delete them once they're inside, because they'll have literally no purpose on the inside, because we'll be redesigning all the lighting and stuff like that. And actually, designing the cells and stuff like that isn't too hard. You know, designing the cells is literally just like one little window where you give it a name. You set what kind of lighting you want inside. You know, it's like Diamond City interior lighting or Dusty Cave interior, stuff like that. It also kind of changes the eminent sounds of it. So obviously in caves and stuff, you've got like little bits of wind blowing and stuff like that. Or if it's in like a creaky metal building, you'll hear like metal creaking and stuff like that. So all the cells already have things like kind of background noise and stuff pre-installed into them. Which is, I suppose in hindsight, a very nice way to do it. But it does mean if you go ahead and not do that, say if you accidentally not choose one of those, you notice immediately. You'll often notice if there's a cell that's been kind of rushed, because it won't have any exterior noise, or interior noise I should say. Did it again. Did it again. Okay, what else are people saying though? Let's go ahead and read some of this. It says, Callum Stone says, do Americans have Iron Brew and Vimto? Oh, I don't know actually. I know when I went to America I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of it, but it doesn't mean it's not there, of course. Iron Brew is, I don't know how to describe Iron Brew. It's not orange, is it? But it's color orange. It's a soft drink, basically. It's quite nice, actually. Quite nice. And Vimto, never really been a big fan of Vimto. That's kind of like a fruity drink, isn't it? I don't mean fruity as in, I'm up sailor. I mean fruity as in, it's quite literally fruit. But no, I've never really been a big fan of Vimto. I mean, it's alright. It's nothing fancy, though. It's not like Dr. Pepper. You know, Dr. Pepper is fancy. Dr. Pepper is life. Dr. Pepper is love. You know, if Shrek was a drink, it would be Dr. Pepper. Right, so that's that there. What I'm going to do as well, when I kind of grab like a big bunch of them like this, I'm just going to start grouping them. Let's call it Group 1 right now for whatever. You can't even see it. Call it Group 1, just so if I accidentally make a mistake again, I don't lose too much progress, because I've made a mistake twice now so far. So let's try to avoid that just by kind of grouping them as I go. I have to ungroup them once we get inside, of course, but that's really not much of an issue. Ooh, Nelly. So yeah, obviously, I want this all done and released and stuff before 76 beta. Even though we have no idea when that beta is, I definitely want it done before then. Because one, I want to make lots of content on the beta. And also, I'm just kind of worried that it will get left by the wayside if it isn't done before then. Because I don't want this mod to get left by the wayside. And obviously, if it's the case that nobody's watching this because they only want to see stuff on 76, then that's what will happen. So therefore, we're going to rush to, well, not rush, you know, as in rush the project, but we're going to put more effort into it to get it done before 76. Because I think that would be a smart thing to do. Also, it'll be a nice send-off as well. So if this is like the last giant project we do on Fallout 4, then I think that would be a nice way to go. You know, this absolutely massive project. There we go, do that right there. And what was that notification right there? Negro should subscribe. Thank you very much. But you might not change your name, buddy. Pretty certain you're going to offend a lot of people by saying that. Right, let's go ahead and do that there. How's that? Yep, that's good. And we are still grabbing the stuff we already pre-grouped. Indeed we are. Fantastic. Alrighty. Messed up there. So I suppose the hardest thing about going ahead and designing interiors is just kind of getting the overall feel of what you want out of it. I kind of got a good idea of what I want to do with this interior. I want kind of like a Wild West slash kind of film noir kind of feel. You know, not probably more film noir than Wild West, most likely. You know, you kind of like playing with the lights and stuff like that, have the chandeliers and stuff, but also have like the big wooden bar with some guy just polishing the glass behind the counter and stuff like that. You know, that kind of feel. I don't want to go for like, say, like New Vegas style bar where everything's very bright and in your face and stuff, you know, like Las Vegas. I'm thinking more subtle than that, you know, kind of play with lights and make it feel like kind of like a shantytown bar, but a luxurious shantytown bar, if that actually makes any sense at all. Does it make sense? I honestly don't know. Alright, go ahead and grab that there. And now I should just be able to grab this group here. Indeed I can. And now, go ahead and group those together as well. Brilliant. So yeah, as you can see, we're just slowly starting to piece together all these things. Every one of these buildings is obviously made up of individual pieces. And the main reason we do that is because we really don't want to have to go ahead and make all the buildings look the same. You know, we want to go ahead and build all of our own buildings and make them truly unique. And the best way to do that is to just use individual metal panels. Because then, literally every single room and everything, every single floor, every type of wall you see, it is definitely unique. You will not see the same... You'll see the same bits of metal, but you won't see the same shaped building anywhere else. You probably notice it yourself when you're in-game. I mean, it is a video game, what do you expect? But you do occasionally see the same buildings, you know, the same kind of walls, same kind of tables, etc. But if you can go ahead and make your own buildings out of individual pieces, you can at least know that the shape of the building is going to be unique. Which is definitely what we're going for. Only drawback, of course, of doing that is that it takes forever. And obviously, moving things about like I'm trying to do right now is absolutely a nightmare. Alright, what else are people saying, though? Maximum Effort says, oh, I don't have the money in my card. What are you talking about there, buddy? Not too sure what you mean there. FireZ Game says, hey, Render, there's a massive fire the size of 4 football pitches. I've sent you a pic on Twitter. It's near me. Oh, that's not good. That's pretty horrible, in fact. Wonder what's going on there. Hope everyone's okay. Well, what else are people saying, though? Tyler Ferguson says, do you think the most expansive version of Fallout 76 will include a season pass, everyone? No, they've already said that in order to fund all of the DLC, they are going to have cosmetic DLCs and also, what's the word? And any kind of Creation Club stuff they decide to put out as well. And before anyone starts complaining and stuff like that, that's way cheaper than going ahead and buying DLC. Far Harbor was like £25 for God's sake. Nuka World was, what, £20? All the building DLCs probably cost about... Buying Fallout 4 without the season pass probably costs like 120 quid, something like that. It's far cheaper to go ahead and do it this way. And that's kind of what developers want to do. Some people seem to think that developers kind of want to just nickel and dime and steal every penny you have. No. They want to make all their extra cosmetics as cheap as possible and put them out as cheap as possible. So therefore they make more content and people enjoy more content. Which ultimately means more money being spent, but if you enjoy the content, you don't mind. Does that make sense? That's how capitalism actually works. Capitalism isn't a trick. You know, I think that's a big difference that people really need to think about before they start criticizing game companies. There are some exceptions, like EA and stuff like that with their pay-to-win loot boxes. That's not good. But things like cosmetic DLC and stuff like that, that's pretty good. Considering the alternative is, as I said, like the EA marketing thing. That's the alternative, so which do you want? What else are people saying? Lucas Notch says, what is the main story in Fallout 76? We can't be certain what the main story is, but we do know certain things. Like we know that a large part of the main story is going to be about finding the first initial people who left Vault 76. Because if you remember, when you look at the first trailer we saw, you actually go ahead and see that the Pip-Boy is 5 years after. What was it? It's 25 years after the Great War. However, the vault was meant to open 20 years after the Great War. So 25 years after, 20 years after, they, for some reason, have been sitting in the vault for an extra 5 years. And no one knows why. I just realised I don't need any of this part, do I? No, I really don't need any of that bit, because that's part of the apartment. Go ahead and grab those there. So the idea is that after 20 years, some people, a couple people, left the vault to go and explore. And then when they say... some people are saying I missed some windows and stuff like that. Thank you very much for reminding me, guys. So the idea is that you leave the vault, or you're meant to leave the vault 20 years after. But some people went first, you know, to go and check. But they never came back. So after 25 years, the vault has pretty much run out of all resources, so now you have to leave. Does that make sense? So, 20 years after, a couple people go out. When they come back, then everybody can leave. But they never came back. And now you have to leave, basically, to go and find them. And, of course, the other part of the story is involving the nuclear weapons and the monsters. The idea is that there are monsters kind of coming out of rocks in the ground. These are the monsters like the Scorched Beasts and the Beast of Grafton, stuff like that. They are literally coming out of the ground. And then you have to go ahead and use the nuclear weapon system to destroy them in order to stop the monsters coming out. And that was stuff that we were told in the... that was stuff that was told in the No-Clip documentary. Alright, so that should be everything now. That should be everything. All 3 floors now. Is it 3 floors? It'll be like 2 main floors plus a bit extra. Not bad. Alright, so now that's done, let's go ahead and go into our interior cell. I think that's all the walls and stuff. And if any that we've missed, we should just be able to replace a bit easier. Okay, so Diamond City upper bar. Here we go. So that's that done right there. What else are people saying though? Maximum Effort says, hey Render, want to play OW. Well, what's OW, buddy? Oh, do you mean Overwatch? I haven't played Overwatch in quite a long time, actually. Overwatch is an odd game for me. In fact, all multiplayer games are a bit odd for me. I get really into them for a while, and then I don't play them again for ages and ages, you know? Like, I was playing some Counter-Strike today. I haven't played Counter-Strike in a long time, but I was really enjoying it. And at some point, again, I'll probably play Overwatch quite addictively for a while and stuff like that. But obviously, when 76 comes out, that's going to be very different. Okay, so we have got this here, and this is going to be our floor piece. Let's go ahead and line up our first floor piece now, so we can go ahead and make the other ones match up. Curious to know how much space we've got to work with here. You can clearly see I've missed gaps and stuff like that, but that's not the end of the world. Alright, so get this part looking good on the inside. Yeah, that's kind of alright, isn't it? That's touching the walls. I'm going to put it that way. Sweet. So now that's done, what we need to do is ungroup it for a start. We need to ungroup all of this so we can start to work with some of the actual individual assets again. And some bits we don't need, as I already said. You know, I accidentally copy and pasted some bits. Like this part is all part of the player home, which we don't need, so we can go ahead and get rid of those. It's just everything... Well, the entrance to the player home would be about there, wouldn't it? The door would be about there. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and get rid of all of these bits here. Because again, we don't need them, so get rid of them. Like, it's true that the player one... Oh my! What was that right there? Maximum Effort has donated €2 through Super Chat and says, I gotta go. Here is a tip for my very good sir. Oh, just for tip? Thank you very much, Maximum Effort. Everyone go ahead and chant. Maximum! 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 Everyone go ahead and type maximum in the chat for going ahead and donating €2 via Super Chat. Thanks very much, mate. That's exactly what we need to go ahead and keep these live streams going. Because something I haven't mentioned yet, guys, I haven't mentioned this stream anyway, is that these streams are entirely ad-free. They are entirely ad-free because we don't want Google interrupting them, and also we can't go ahead and make projects this big just relying on ad revenue. It literally can't work. It'll take way too long, and it just won't be worth the amount of effort it'll take, basically. But going ahead and having the donations open means we can go ahead and do giant projects like this. If you want to go ahead and donate, please consider doing it. We do have the PayPal open in the description using the link which says Streamlabs. We also have the Super Chat option, which is the little dollar symbol, which you can see in the chat. Or, of course, you can become a YouTube sponsor or follow on Patreon. So thank you very much if you really do want to do that. As I said, it really does help me. And it means we can do these giant projects, you know, comfortably. That's probably the best way to say it. You know, we would have to rush it otherwise. Alright, so what's the best way to do this then? This is also the interesting time when we get to see how much space we have to work with. We get to see how much space we've got in this place. I don't mind making it bigger on the inside than it needs to be. I would just really like it to fit appropriately, you know. I don't want to have to cheat the system. I want it to be the natural size, you know. What else are people saying though? Akira says, this mod is released on all consoles. Indeed it is. Well, that's certainly the plan anyway. I actually did go ahead and do some experimenting with the optimization the other day. You know, I made a copy of the mod and just started experimenting and stuff. I started trying out, you know, kind of using previses and stuff like that to see how many frames per second we could save. And it does help a lot. You know, going ahead and making previses really does help save the frames. Only problem with it though is that obviously you can't use previses on PlayStation 4 because that counts as an external asset. What it means is that you kind of scan the entire area and then the creation kit will kind of group certain objects together, objects which don't move, you know, like walls and floors and stuff. It will group them all together and load them as one object, but whereas instead of right now when it's loading every single object, because the frame rate drop isn't coming from the graphics card not being able to render, you know, the detail and stuff. It's coming from just the sheer number of objects, the sheer volume of objects. So if you can give the computer less items to render, then it actually loads quicker. So it'll take, I'll probably end up having like 2 versions of it. You know, one of which can be used on the PlayStation and one of which can be used on the Xbox and PC. Well, I'm going to have to do that anyway, because the PlayStation 4 version doesn't have the elevator to get up. It obviously has the stairs. But I'm certainly got a feeling that it's going to be much, much harder to optimize the PlayStation 4 version. You can thank Sony for that, guys. Not me. You can thank Sony. Alright. So what I do need to do is go ahead and start rotating things onto the inside also, just so we can kind of get a feeling of it. And these windows are only temporary windows, because I'm going to actually replace these windows with a different type of window. But I obviously want the windows to line up correctly. And we obviously do have like some little glitches and stuff like that, like here, which worked on the exterior, but not necessarily on the interior. And also we've got to rotate all of these ceiling parts, haven't we? The ceilings we made out of the junk fences. Works really well, looks really good. But obviously on the inside it doesn't really quite work because they're facing the wrong way. So what we're going to do is rotate them like that. And then go back to that, snap in. And rotate them. Yes, please. Okay, do it one at a time. It sometimes gets a little confused if you try to do 2 at once. Rotate them this way. That way the legs aren't kind of hanging off the ceiling. Looks a bit too cluttered. Whereas if we rotate them around, it looks flat on the ceiling. Does that make sense? I certainly hope so. Captain Mugcrab says, am I late? We've been streaming for about half an hour, but we are going for an extra hour today. So that's all good. Now what else are people saying though? Darth Nork says, bigger on the inside. What is this, a TARDIS? Well, no, as I said, this isn't bigger on the inside. Or at least that's the goal. The plan is to not do the TARDIS thing, which many mods do. And we didn't have to do it with the player home, so I'm hoping we don't have to do it here. We do seem to have quite a nice bit of space, in all fairness. Things like this, we can definitely go ahead and fix, because it's kind of glitching right in there. It's obviously not meant to do that. On the outside, it would make sense, but here, on the interior, it does not. So that's a window. Right now we're just tidying it. And then we can start putting in, we could put like 1 or 2 bits of basic furniture in there, you know, primarily the bar, just so we can see what we're up against in terms of designing. Because this actually is quite a tall place. There's definitely going to be at least 2 stories in here, maybe 3, but at least 2 for sure. That's a given. What's that bit doing there, I wonder? Just go ahead and lower that, can't we? We'll actually have to add a door frame as well. That's something I didn't do when I was building the exterior. I didn't add door frames to these doors. And you really should add door frames. It makes it much tidier and saves you a lot of stress later. Trust me. Like, you're trying to line up the doors without them kind of glitching into the walls as they open. Adding the actual door frames that are in the creation kit makes it a load of trouble. Makes it a load of trouble. No, it doesn't. It makes it a lot easier. You see, I can totally English me. You know, I'm not Devo or anything. Alright, let's grab this and just kind of move it here. As I said, you know, I did go ahead and miss some bits. But that's okay, because we've got plenty of metal chunks to go ahead and grab and just throw here. That's a nice thing about being this late in the project. We've actually got lots of stuff that we've already made. Obviously, when we started the project, we had to make everything from scratch. Every time we wanted to make something new, we had to go ahead and make it new. But now we can go ahead and copy and paste certain things and stuff. I'm so happy we made a liquor store in the actual shopping area. Because it means we've got loads of liquor bottles that are already static. Which is going to save me a lot of time designing a bar. Because obviously every bottle in the bar will have to be a static item. And luckily we've already got a load of static bottles pre-made. So that'll make things much easier. What else are people saying though? Fireset Game says, we need a share spike. We've already had a share spike. But how about we go ahead and get another one? Boom! Share spike right there. Let's get another share spike up in here. I've just noticed I'm peaking on the old microphone there. Let me just tone that down a little bit there. Yes. Jonah Bergson says, Render, are you from the USA? No, I am from England, buddy. I am from England. I am English. Right, so that's that there. Although you may have seen me in that American film, The Patriot. Oh, God, I saw a couple clips from The Patriot the other day. God, that film's awful. You know, the Mel Gibson one. That's an awful film. It's not quite as bad as Braveheart, but it's still pretty bad in terms of historical inaccuracy. It's like in that film, I know it sounds obvious now, but obviously saying that the English were made out to basically be Nazis in that film, so you don't have to make the English seem worse than they were. It's like, they were bad enough, you know? But they almost kind of made up events to make the English seem even worse. It's like, you don't have to do that, you know? There was plenty of reason for the Americans to uprise. They didn't need to, like, one bit in The Patriot, they literally showed the English locking up people in a church and then setting fire to it. It's like, that didn't happen, you know? The Boston Massacre, 5 people were killed, and that was enough to cause an uprising. Never mind a church being burned. You know, silly old Mel Gibson. What else are people saying, though? Pancho Man Sandy Ravage, that's a cool name, says, how much is left to do? This is the very first episode of building the bar, which is going to be the biggest interior. Then we have a Church of Atom interior, which probably won't take as long, I don't think, because it's pretty small. It's only like 1 square, maybe, but it's quite tall. So we'll get to play with some lights and do some fun stuff with that. And then there's an interior which actually has a player home in it that you can build. You know, not one that we're decorating. So that one's probably not even worth streaming, because it's literally just make a room like this and then put a workshop in it. Really no point in streaming that. And then we've got to add NPCs. And remember, guys, all of the YouTube sponsors and $5 and up patrons, they are going to be all the NPCs in this mod. You know, every time you see an NPC or a YouTube sponsor in the chat or in the description and stuff, they are going to have an NPC named after them in this mod. So if you want to go ahead and have an NPC named after yourself, become a $5 and above patron or become a YouTube sponsor. You know, they cost the same, so it's up to you which one you do. But obviously the YouTube sponsors, they also get the fancy emotes you can see in the chat. So go ahead and do that if you want to. DN Motorsport says, can you do skylights? I think someone mentioned that for the player home and we never did it because it didn't quite work. We might be able to make it work here. I don't know if we've got any that are big enough. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. It also depends on where if we even have the space. I mean, on the outside, there's a plane on this bit. So there's no skylight there. But maybe we can go ahead and find a way to get that to work. Because that would be quite a cool thing, wouldn't it? Being able to, like, see the stars and stuff like that. Alright, let's go ahead and rotate these ones around. Because as I said, as you can see all these beams. We don't want that. That looks messy and scrappy and horrible. So what we can do is rotate all of these to be the correct way. And that's not quite right. Oh, of course not, because since they're all different center points, it gets a bit confused, doesn't it? We're doing one at a time. You know, why should we risk it being more confusing? Do it one at a time. Rotate it around. Now, what else are people saying, though? Fair Van Derzen says, recently got into Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's really cool. Plus, I'm a nerd for medieval stuff like that. Haha. I do need to play that game, actually. I really do. So when I was a kid, I really wanted to be a historian because I loved the whole medieval time period. I really, really liked it, and I was fascinated by it. And as I grew older, I don't know if I went away from liking the fantasy. Not the fantasy, the setting. But, I don't know, for some reason the idea of doing it full-time kind of went away. But I still love the setting. I mean, I think it would be a cool game to play. I just don't know if it's... Frankly, I don't know if I've got the time to play it. I know that sounds bad, but I don't know if I do, because that's a long game. When it comes a bit cheaper, I probably will. When it comes a bit cheaper, because it's still pretty expensive now. It has had its first DLC recently, hasn't it? Is that any good? It's the new DLC. I haven't heard anyone reviewing it yet. because people just kind of said, oh, the game's good, but it's a bit buggy. Let's move on now. But no, it did have a DLC recently, didn't it? Okay. So that's that done then. So now we can see, apart from this one bit here, and there's a box up there floating for some reason, now we can see what the actual ceiling looks like, which is good. I need to go ahead and rotate this one, though, because we missed it. It was a really nice idea to go ahead and build a ceiling out of these junk fences. Not only is it a bit different to a lot of the normal mods you see, but it looks genuinely really nice. You know, it keeps the scrappy aesthetic. The only problem with it, I suppose, is that you can't go ahead and, say, do it in the settlement mode, because you'd have to delete these. So this is the kind of size we got to work with. Not bad, not bad. Let's go ahead and patch up all the holes and stuff like that now. And then we'll jump in game to see what it looks like. Because I've actually teleported my character into this cell. Temporarily. So we'll be able to go ahead and take a look at what it's like on the inside pretty soon. And to patch things up, it's very, very easy. We just got to go ahead and grab these and just like move them up and stuff like that. Didn't need to grab two there really, did I? Go ahead and move that one across. And also don't forget to rotate the windows around. Again, I'm going to be replacing these windows with a different type. I'm going to be using the same windows that I use for the player home interior. The ones that allow the beams of light to come through. Because they look really, really pretty. Especially at night. Not during the day, sorry. You know, kind of like early morning when there's like beams of light coming through the windows and like little bits of dust falling. Looks really, really pretty. And it's exactly the kind of look I'm going for. And I've got a little bit of a problem with a seam here. Obviously, you can see there's a bit of a seam problem, but this is actually a different level. So what I might do, I might just go ahead and very quickly just do that, just so we know where the second story starts and where the ground floor is. Just very quickly and easily, just temporarily, just like that, because that door will lead to the balcony outside. Do you remember we built an exterior balcony for people to go ahead and drink on? Just go ahead and throw that there. Okay, Jonah Bergson says, I want to be Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones, calling Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones, wake up now. Oh, who remembers Aqua? That was Aqua, wasn't it? You know, the Barbie Girl song as well. I wonder what happened to them. I know that the male guy ended up doing almost some kind of satirical songs in a way. You know, they were kind of like these kind of funny things that you would often find on like random MP3 lists and stuff. And they tend to be quite satirical. I think he had one about homeless people and how can I say it? I think it was about how America just said to imagine people saying to homeless people, hey, get a job. It's like, yeah, but he's got a huge beard. He smells like poo. You know, what do you expect? You know, you got to help a little bit. You know what I mean? I think that's kind of what the song was about. I don't remember what it was called, but it's a good song. As I said, very satirical. What else are people saying? DNY Motorsports says, ever gave the thought of doing an institute compound or a little substation above a ground? I think a few people have done stuff like that, haven't they? Like kind of temporary, tiny little institute bases above ground. I seem to remember the fourth maybe episode of Build of a Mods I ever did. That was in the Glowing Sea, where we kind of built something like that. You know, kind of institute science base right outside Sentinel site in the Glowing Sea. That was kind of cool. And what was really cool about that build, as I said, I think it was like the fourth Build of a Mods we ever did. What was really cool about it was that I was able to use like the snappy kit or whatever it was called. The kind of pods that you could get. And then I was able to make something that kind of looked like an Arctic research base. You know, like you see in The Thing and stuff like that. You know, where it's just like little bases all made out of kind of pre-made pods. And it looks really, really cool. So you can go and check out that video if you want to see something like that. Right now I'm just looking for like a tiny thin strip of metal. Oh, forget it. There's probably one here, isn't there? Tiny thin strip of metal. Just so I can go ahead and plug up these little holes here. I said plug. Plug's a funny word. Do you not think so? I don't know why it's funny. But plug is a very funny word. It's not even rude or anything. But it sounds like it could be. It's like, oh, you plug. Oh, dear. Alright, so this is what I need to plug up here. Just these little gaps here. Also, an important thing to note about the creation kit as well is that you look at this place in here. You look at this place in here, and you think, oh, it looks a bit small. When we actually jump in game, you'll see it actually is it feels much bigger when you're actually in game, or it looks much bigger when you're actually in game. It's always the case. I mean, we did the player home, the Diamond City player home that we just finished. You can watch the edited video of that now. That's all been uploaded and stuff now. Uploaded it a few days ago. But you can see all of that done. And in the creation kit, it looks tiny. But when you jump in game, it feels alright. You know, you can walk around and stuff like that. It's still small, don't get me wrong. It's still small and cozy. But it looks much smaller in the creation kit than it actually is. And this is obviously not quite right. We can go ahead and move those bits there. That must have been... We must have moved that one slightly wrong on the outside to hide some kind of error. That's the thing with a lot of these builds and a lot of these interior cells. They kind of built like movie sets. You know, it's like everything the player can see looks perfect, but on the other side of the wall, everything looks completely wrong. Which is kind of cool in a way. But yeah, they literally look like movie sets. In the same way as well, if you look at how like lighting and stuff like that is arranged. They're kind of hidden in the same places you would hide like lights on a movie set. It's really cool. A really good example. I don't remember the name of the channel, but there is one channel which all they do is activate a free camera in video games, and then they start exploring what's going on behind the scenes in video games. To kind of say, oh look, in this scene in Uncharted, you can see there's actually 5 enemies behind this wall, but only 4 deploy. What's going on? Or it's like, here's a secret Easter egg that no one could see. You know, and it's a really cool channel to go ahead and see the amount of stuff that's going on that the player will never ever see. It's really cool. Right. Alright, just like there, we had a little gap in the floor right there, so go ahead and hide that. That's a good example right there. So much of that floor is sticking out, but the player will never ever know. Because we only needed like a couple inches in there. Always need just a few extra inches. What else are people saying though? Let's go ahead and read some of this. Chasm says, does anyone here watch Overlord? I have no idea what Overlord is. Never heard of that one before. That is yummy. What else are people saying though? Theo Van Derzen says, new DLC is... Oh, this is for Kingdom Come Deliverance. New DLC is pretty cool. You have to rebuild a town called Pribyslavitz. Pribyslavitz? Oh, I honestly don't know how it's pronounced. Where is it? Is it set in Hungary or something like that? Kingdom Come Deliverance? Something like that. It's like Hungary or Czechoslovakia. Somewhere Eastern Europe, I believe. Go ahead and grab this one right here. And... put it up there, put it up. I'm not too fussed if we don't find every single gap and every single hole in this first pass, which is kind of what I call it. I call it a pass. You know, when you jump in game, do a load of stuff, jump into the creation kit, fix it, etc. I kind of call that a pass. Maybe that's because I come from a visual effects background, I honestly don't know, but is what it is. Go ahead and drop that in there, make it a little bit smaller. But yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance, I'd like to try it, but it's just a bit expensive right now. You know, I can't really justify spending that amount of money on a game right now, considering I'm saving up for a new graphics card. You know what I'm saying? Graphics card comes first. Oop, wrong button. Go ahead and drag it up just like that. In fact, I like these other ones more than these smaller ones here. It's not the end of the world that things are the same color and stuff like that. It is just a bit of metal after all. It is true that you do want to go ahead and use different bits of metal for different sections of wall to go ahead and make it look scrappy. That is an important thing we've learned in this build, is that the more random... I just realised the reason they are separate is because they're different sizes. We can't just copy and paste the same ones across, that's why. But if you've got things like this, where it is basically could all be one bit of metal in theory, then we can get away with it. But obviously on the main walls you want to have as many different bits of metal and wood as possible to make it look scrappy. Just have all those different panels and it instantly looks better. And also, if possible, try to have the folds visible to the player. Because obviously right there, you can't see where the other bit of metal starts and the other one ends. But if we drag it onto this side, the player can kind of see the overlap. And that just makes it look a bit more interesting. Gives it a little bit of texture, you know? Gives it a little bit of texture. That's the universal symbol for texture. Just like that. Right, somebody's going to GIF that now, put it onto some kind of nasty website. Okay. And of course, the nice thing about doing that is it also means that the items aren't overlapping, which currently they are right now. Just like that to go ahead and fix the old overlap. There. Right, so what else do we have? We got all of that. Obviously, gaps in the ceiling still. Not going to worry about that too much. What else are people saying though? Captain Bugcrab says, there's a bit too much rust for my liking. On the right side of the door. Try separating the mold to make the wall look more interesting. On the right side of the door. Keep in mind, there'll also be like items and stuff like that and things. But what we probably can do, just to break it up a bit, is just flip them like that. Just flipping them like that will go ahead and make it look a bit nicer. But the entire city is all kind of built around the idea of rust. You know, rust and wood. And it kind of gives us a really nice... Well, it's a really nice flavour of Diamond City, because all of these bits of wood and metal that we are using, you only find these bits of wood and metal in Diamond City. So it makes sense that everything we build our buildings with are exclusively from these same bits that you can find in Diamond City. Just kind of help keep the original design of Diamond City in our own Diamond City. Because even though it's meant to look different, it's still kind of being built by the same people, if that makes sense. What else are people saying, though? Callum Sohn says, I'm back. Never know you went anywhere. It is what it is. Theo Van Durzen says it's set. Says that Kingdom Come Deliverance is set in the Czech Republic. Oh, okay. There we go. I knew it was something like that. Okay. Is it based on real history? I don't know. Never actually learned that. Is Kingdom Come Deliverance based on actual events? Or is it... Or an actual time period? Or is it just kind of... You know, unspecified Stan, if that makes sense. You know, it's just generic country, but you don't know where in the country it is or whatever. Alright, so let's go ahead and grab some more bits. And hit that there. Drag it across. Bring it up a bit. And just do this. Just to kind of fill in as much of the gaps. And again, remember, this middle part I'm not too concerned about because we'll be filling it up with wall and stuff. But let's at least get the first floor looking okay. So we can go ahead and jump in game and see what it's like. Do that there. And I apologise if this part of the building process is a bit boring. But once it's done, we can actually start designing. And start putting in some furniture. Yeah, we'll put at least some basic furniture in so we kind of get a sense of the scale and stuff like that. But besides that, I think that's okay really for the first floor. You know, so we can at least get an idea of the scale of it. Got like one little bit there, which we'll go ahead and plug up. Oh, a couple bits right here, my gosh. And you kind of want the look of the entire place to almost look as if it's been built by the same few people, as I've said. Because if you do that, it kind of gives the place a bit more believability. Makes it feel more real. If it looks like it was all built by hand and by individuals, rather than, say, like the kit stuff, where it's clearly a bit more pre-war. Because none of this entire city, in fact nothing in Diamond City, is really pre-war in the sense that they find just regular houses and then renovate them. It's all completely uniquely built stuff. I think that's what makes Diamond City quite interesting as opposed to some of the other places in Fallout 4. Is that everything in Diamond City was built after the war. Whereas most of the towns and settlements and stuff, they are just kind of regular homes and stuff that have been reworked to be normal homes. And Theo Van Durzen also says, Render, do you play D&D? No, I do not, but I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to give it a go. I think it'd be fun. I definitely think it'd be fun, but no, I've never ever tried that. Well, that's something I think that a lot of people are going to be quite happy with say, Fallout 76, that it does bring a lot of role-playing back into it. Playing Fallout 1 the other day, you can definitely see how some of the, like, D&D role-playing aspects made it into games like that, into video games like that. Because, obviously, you've got to remember, you know, a lot of RPG games did originate from, you know, the kind of Dungeons and Dragons style of rolling dice to level up your characters and all this kind of stuff. It's all from Dungeons and Dragons, which came out in, what, late 70s maybe, something like that? It all comes from that original concept of RPG games. So going back to play Fallout 1 and seeing some of those forms in their more natural kind of state, before it was just basically earn XP, get bigger gun, you know, it's actually kind of building your character. It was really interesting to see. Okay, I'm okay with that for now then. Let's go ahead and jump in game to go ahead and see how much space we have to work with and see what it's like. Alright, so we've been streaming for about 50 minutes now, so that's pretty good, that's pretty good. And what else are people saying though? Heavy Metal says, are you going to build on Fallout 76 final render? Absolutely. Like, I remember when me and XJokesGirlX were watching the live reveal, they had shown a bit of the multiplayer shooting each other, they shown some of the land, they shown some of the vault, and we both just kind of said, can we build? Can we build together? Can we build? And then, what do you know, the next clip after was showing the camp system. So yeah, and that's another thing as well. We can go ahead and build together in Fallout 76. That's something people haven't really thought about. Because obviously, you can go ahead and build by yourself in your own camp, and there is a size limit to that. But if you've got two camps next to each other, you could build something much, much bigger. If you had like a little group of people who all love to play together, you can have your own little fortress in a way, and it'll look really, really cool. Imagine you've got like 4 people all working on one single spot, you know, like one corner each. That would be absolutely superb. Alright, so where is Nexus Mod Manager? Here we go. I believe I left my character in the right place. Anyway. Jace Burkholder says, Render, can you please play Fortnite with viewer stream again now that I can play with you on PlayStation 4? Oh yeah, Season 5 came out. Honestly, guys, I'm kind of done with Fortnite. I really am. You know, it's like, it was fun for a bit. You know, it was fun for a bit. It is a multiplayer game. You don't necessarily play it forever. But I think I'm done with it. Oh my gosh. And Injected has donated $5 and says, kind of smiley face thing. Thank you very much, Injected. Everyone in the chat, go ahead and chant. Injected, Injected, Injected. Everyone, even you, Dave, go ahead and chant Injected in the chat for going ahead and donating $5 via Super Chat. Thanks very much, mate. That's really, really nice of you to do. Who's going to be next, I wonder? Who's going to be next to go ahead and chant Injected and donate, I wonder? Woohoo, woohoo. Okay, what else is there? Heavy Metal also says, are you going to play Xbox One or PC? I am playing... Oh, why not PS4, buddy? But no, I'm going to be playing on PC. That's where I've pre-ordered it. And at some point, I'll probably end up buying the PS4 version as well. But the simple fact of the matter is, I primarily play on PC, so that's where I bought it. You know, I did buy it on PlayStation 4. I mean, Fallout 4 this is. But I haven't really played it as much as I thought I would. Honestly thought I would. And also, Feo says, Render, how's Dave doing? I don't know. Dave, how you doing, mate? Feo's asking how you're doing. You know, Feo Van Durzen's asking how... They're being nice. The people on the chat are being nice. Oh, really? Okay. And what did the Queen say about that? Yeah, okay. Dave says he's okay. He's been causing a bit of trouble recently. But, it is what it is. He's always causing trouble, is old Dave. But you know what? He hasn't weed in the corner or anything today, so that's a good thing, I suppose. He's been doing that most days. But it is what it is. Okay. So here we are in the cell. Okay. So, yeah. It is fairly spacious, actually. Yeah. Obviously, everywhere that... Obviously, this kind of yellow, kind of sick light. That's obviously the outside of the cell, where there is literally nothing. You know, there is nothing there. But obviously, it gets covered up. So the size is pretty nice. Yeah, we could probably get lots of tables and chairs and stuff like that. We'll probably have the bar... We'll probably have like the bar on this side. Here. Have the bar on this side. And then we can have like tables and chairs and stuff here. Probably have some stairs up, going up. Oh! It would be cool if we could have stairs on both sides. Yeah. Maybe if we can make the upper story maybe half the size. So, you know, it's almost like a railing system. So we can only have like a small row of tables and stuff like that on the top. And we can have it going all the way around. Kind of like a circle. So if you're on the top floor, you can pretty much see everyone on the bottom floor. That would be really, really cool. I like that. I think that would be quite sweet. Captain Mudcrab says, Render, you need a guy called Dave who's similar to Nazim or some other... Dave is very similar to Nazim. Very similar to Nazim. He's just always off to the side, just causing trouble. You know what I mean? He doesn't really do much. Fast Pup says, do you use Mixer? I've never used Mixer, actually. No, I've never tried it. In fact, I've never even watched anyone on Mixer. So interesting. Billy Hope says, joined a little late. Can someone fill me in on what I've missed? Well, this is it, Billy Hope. Everything that you see here that we have built is what you've missed. We just went ahead and started to build all the walls and floors of this interior bar cell. And so it's obviously very early days. You know, there are things that need to be fixed, like there's flashing textures and stuff like that. And there's no furniture or lighting of any kind. But it's not bad. Alright, so what we'll do, we will adjust the floor, kind of bring it in halfway. So rather than it starting here, it will start here. And we'll also kind of work out where to put some stairs. And then after that, we'll probably just kind of decide where the bar's going to go and stuff. There is more tidying to do. but I won't go ahead and do that. We can also go ahead and make this door work now as well, which is a really good idea, because we can do that now. We can go ahead and make the door work. And our player home door, we've got to remember, the door to our player home will have to go up there. That's where the door to our player home is going to have to go. Right, so let's go ahead and quit out of this then. And then go back to the creation kit. Not bad for an hour, right? Not bad for an hour. Alrighty, so that's that done. Close that off. And open up the old creation kit again. Shabmown. Okay, the kitty cat says, so will this be finished before 76 is released? That's the plan. I do want to go ahead and kind of speed up the process a little bit, because we obviously don't know when the beta's coming out. It could come out tomorrow for all we know. Actually, no, the Bethesda did say they'd tell us before it's announced. You know what I mean? But it would be really, really nice to go ahead and get it done before the beta is released. Because then it's done, you know? And this can kind of be our last giant project on Fallout 76, on Fallout 4, you know? I'm not saying we won't ever do Fallout 4 again, but I'm saying this will probably be our really last giant project. You know what I mean? Okay, so how about we go ahead and load up our mod? And it obviously takes a long time to load up the mod. So, go ahead and click that there. And then open that up. Okay, so something that we do on these live streams is that when things are loading and stuff like that, we have the Twitter open. We have the Twitter open so we can go ahead and share your selfies of you guys enjoying the live streams. How about we see if we can do that now? We'll go ahead and see what we can do here. There is one message here. There is a message here from someone called TV Dude. And TV Dude, I do not want to show that image because I don't know where that leads to. Does that make sense? You basically sent a link and I don't know what it does. So, therefore, I'm not going to show that. But let's take a look at the Twitter. Remember, if you want your selfies and your messages of yourself enjoying the live stream, go ahead and send it to my Twitter. That is final_render on Twitter. Send in your selfies of you guys enjoying the live stream and we'll show them up. But no links, as I said, remember, people, or anything that leads to a link. Okay, so we've got Fire's Games here, showing the fire that's going on down the road. That's really not good. That's really not good. I hope everything's okay. And we have also got Fire's Games going ahead and taking part in the share spike. Thanks very much for doing that, buddy. Going ahead and liking and sharing the stream is a great way to go ahead and get new people in, even if you don't have people following you on Twitter. It means Twitter is more likely to share it on the streams, you know what I mean, to other people. So please go ahead and consider doing that. Just liking and favoriting on Twitter if you have it, or sharing on Facebook and stuff is a great way to go. And of course, we've also got Chelsea Taylor going ahead and liking the share spike as well. Chelsea Taylor is obviously a sponsor of the YouTube channel, so thank you very much for going ahead and doing that, you two. And that is all well and good. Alrighty, so it's still loading up now. Let me see if I could bring this chat up here. Okay, so Heavy Metal says, who wants to be the second leader for my raider base? And Render, I love your vids. Oh, thanks, buddy. Thank you very much. Why should there be second leader of a raider base? I thought everyone in raider colonies were equal. I guess not. Okay, so that's the actual mod loaded now. But now we need to go ahead and load up the cell. The cell is basically the level, I suppose you'd call it. The area. That's probably a good way to call it. Good thing to name it. Okay, so that's that there. So now let's do what we said we were going to do with this then. Let's go ahead, hit record first. Let's go ahead and grab our second story. Our temporary second story. We'll like tidy it up and stuff like that and make, because as you can see, they're even overlapping. Bring it out just like that. Maybe a bit more. So the idea is that we can have like a railing here and you'll be able to look down and see people below you. I always like it when they do that in bars and restaurants, stuff like that. Because, you know, it makes the place feel really, really big, you know? I like that. And we'll also go ahead and, I suppose we could probably tidy this up now, couldn't we? Go ahead and make this entire upper story work. Find some stairs we like as well. Could just go ahead and use the same stairs we used in the player home, actually. Might not be a bad idea. Alright, turn on the snapping. There we go, that's that. Uh-oh, little spinning circle again. Make sure you save along the creation kit. The creation kit, even Bethesda themselves say the creation kit is, well, buggy. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and drag this across. That's good, yep. And I suppose the question is, which way is the other stairs going to face as well? Let's go check out our player home we did. Find out what stairs we used. Because we used a set of stairs that match these kind of floors, I believe. I believe that's what we did anyway. So we're loading up the player home cell now. So we can find out what type of stairs we used. I kind of like to have kind of a... How can I say it? I like to use the same stuff all from the same kit. Because then it makes everything feel a bit more natural. You know, it makes it all feel like it's come from the same place. And obviously, in case you missed it, of course, we've got our player home here, which is actually at the very top of the bar. And you can go ahead and live in here and do whatever you want. You know, we've got like weapon stands, armor stands and stuff like that. Chem station, storage, beds, everything you need really for a luxurious player home. And it's all in here. I thought I deleted that. That's a good point. I need to go ahead and remember to do that. I had an extra lamp in there that I accidentally pasted in. Right, back to the bar. Okay, so where are these stairs going to go then? We could go ahead and have the stairs here or here. How big are the stairs? These are only half stairs, evidently. What we could do, we could go ahead and have the stairs like... No, there's not enough space to do that. I was going to say we could have, if we had more space, we could have the stairs so that when you come in, you can just walk straight up to the second story. But they're just, the room isn't long enough for that. So let's see what we can do up here. Even though I just praised how important it is to go ahead and build your own places that feel unique and stuff by making your own kits and stuff, it does unfortunately mean that a lot of kits and stuff don't necessarily snap together properly. So that is another thing to really keep in mind about doing your own unique little sections. So not everything will necessarily snap in place together because it's not meant to be a different size. Everything is built to the same kind of measurement system. All in kind of squares. Everything's divisible by 4. But not necessarily if you go ahead and make your own unique buildings. You can go ahead and design it that way if you wanted to. But we did not. So everything is a bit messy. So obviously we've got a problem with the window here. Meaning that we can either, 1, raise the window or lower the window. Or of course we can delete it entirely. And I'm going to say, what does it look like if I raise it up or lower it maybe? Lowering it looks a bit messy. Well, I'll probably do. I'll probably delete it. And I've got to remember to also delete it from the exterior as well. Otherwise it will be a bit weird, won't it? So hey, there should be a window here. What's going on, Final Render? You lied to us. You're a phony. You're a goddamn phony, Final. And all that other stuff. But we're not going to worry about that. Because we will remember, won't we? Alright, so that's that there, and then get another set of stairs. There probably actually is like a wooden block I could put there. That's the correct size. But I do not know. Put that there. Maybe if I go ahead and turn on the snapping also. This should be just the perfect height, really. Should be the perfect height. Maybe a bit taller, maybe. Alright, so what's that like? Is that technically floating a little bit? No, that's okay. Alright, that is a good size then. That is a good size. And that looks very floaty, actually. We need a thicker floor piece, don't we? We can go ahead and find a thicker one. Just so it looks a bit more sturdy. Because that looks very flat indeed. You know, that looks like part of a ceiling, but not actually part of a floor. So why don't I go ahead and just see what kind of assets we've got in the same kit. Alright, so got like chunks of broken ones and ones with holes in. But what about kind of thicker parts? Like trims and stuff like that. That might be okay. Just go ahead and grab a trim. Or even a trim end. Doesn't really matter, I suppose, does it? We go ahead and grab that. And we can just slot that in. Underneath there. So that is meant to be... I don't think it quite works. It needs to be a solid piece, doesn't it? But anyways, we'll worry about that later, because right now we need to make progress with it. As I've always said, you know, you need to make progress with your builds. You know, if you're struggling with something and it's taken forever to fix it, move on. Otherwise, you won't get anything done. We'll have the one set of stairs just to avoid confusion and give us a bit more space. And we will bring this section out here, turn on the snap in so it lines up and snaps together perfectly. Because obviously right now, when I move my mouse, it goes in like little chunks. As you can see, it's kind of moving in increments. That's because it is snapping to certain points. And that's a really nice, easy way to ensure that you don't kind of accidentally interject into other elements and stuff that you don't want to. It also ensures that things are, say, always the correct height if you're making floors and stuff. Very useful that they put that in there. Very useful indeed. So do you see what I'm going for now? You kind of see the look that I am envisioning. And we do have an interesting thing here where it is overlapping. There. What was that notification right there? What does it say? Prex Games just subscribed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much indeed, buddy. I just realised I haven't read the chat in a little bit. What else are people saying, though? Heavy Metal says, Render, why type of character are you going to be in 76? Do you mean what type of character you're going to be in 76? I don't know. I honestly don't know. See what happens, really. Like, I want to look forward and plan to 76, but I don't know enough stuff yet. Like, for all I know, I might say, I am going to be a trader. That's going to be my role. It might be really boring. You know? It might be really boring. So I honestly don't know. We'll have to see. I think when it comes to 76, there's going to be a lot of people who are planning what they're going to do. But then they'll play it and go, actually, I prefer doing this other thing. And then they'll change. And I think it's actually kind of been designed in such a way that you can go ahead and change your mind about what you want to be fairly easily. You know, you're not stuck to one type of play. You can go ahead and change what role you want to be fairly easily. And you know, from like with the perk cards and stuff like that, you'll be able to go ahead and change what your character does, what their best skills are, stuff like that. Fairly easily on the fly. So it means you can experiment with what your class is going to be. So even if I had a good idea in my mind about what I wanted to do, I might change it fairly frequently. Who knows? I'm going to pop that in there as well. So with these wall bits here, you can see we've actually got these metal posts here. And the reason we've got those metal posts there is because it means we can basically hide the seams inside the metal posts, just like that, to help make it tidy. So you see we've got like this big bit of wood right there. We can just tuck it inside the bit of, inside this metal post here. And then it instantly looks tidy. And you'll notice your home does it as well. If you go to the corner of, say, one of your rooms, if you chip away the paint, there might be like a metal kind of L bracket kind of thing there. It's to go ahead and protect the corner. It's that simple. Let's go ahead and throw that a little bit back, as I said. Do I even need that part? I don't even need that part. Yeah, see, there you go. And you go ahead and fix things. You find you don't even need certain things. Delete everything you don't need, because it will go ahead and save on performance. Even if it's like, oh, like, I don't know, 100 millisecond of a frame. Hey, it all adds up in the end, doesn't it? It all adds up in the end. What else are people saying, though? Kiloton06 says, Final Render, when the 76 will come out, can I play with you? Please, I hope you aren't ignoring me. No, I don't ignore people. I try not to. Anyway, I just, basically, I'm busy when I'm doing these. When it comes to playing with people, there are some basic ground rules that people need to understand. One, I'm buying the PC version, so I can only play with PC guys. And also, I would really, really, really like to go ahead and get one of the private servers when they become available. I think that would probably be the best way to play with other people. I think if we go ahead and get one of those private servers, I don't know if that will cost money yet. Nobody knows. If it does, then, well, I'll have to integrate it into the Patreon or something like that. But if we could do that, then that would be probably the best way. But obviously, in an ideal world, they will allow crossplay. Because as of right now, crossplay, it's not a thing in Fallout 76. They've said it's just not happening because of Sony. Now, some people have said, why don't you just do crossplay for Xbox and PC at least? Apparently, that can't be a thing. Apparently, it's all or nothing, basically. And people have discussed it before and stuff like that. Even for a while, guys. You know how on Fortnite, when you're playing with the crossplay, you can't have Xbox and PlayStation guys playing at the same time? Well, at one point, for a very brief moment, it was possible. Because it's literally a switch on the crossplay option, and someone at Epic Games accidentally enabled PlayStation and Xbox guys the ability to play together. And then they turned it off after like 10 minutes. So it's possible. It's totally possible. It's literally, developers have made it so crossplay is literally just a box you've got to tick an option saying, yes, we want crossplay. But Sony won't allow it. And I'm tell you the truth, I'm absolutely amazed that Todd Howard actually came out and said, it's Sony's fault. That's very brave of him. You know, and yes, it is true. that Microsoft has always supported Bethesda far more than Sony. Always far more. You know, they're the ones who kind of gave them the rights to put Morrowind on the Xbox, which then gave them the funding to make Fallout 3 and all this kind of stuff, you know, so Bethesda owe a lot to Microsoft, which is probably why Fallout 76 beta is coming out a little bit earlier on the Xbox. No one knows how long for. It probably won't be long. It'll probably be maximum a week, shortest a day, I expect. But yeah, you've got to kind of appreciate how brave it would have been for someone like Todd Howard. You know, someone who's quite important in the games industry to come out and actually call out Sony on it and say they're the ones causing trouble. You know what I mean? What else are people saying, though? Killatron says, well, I only have PC. Well, there you go. You're probably alright then, aren't you? You're probably alright. I'm sure at some point we'll have like a community stream of some kind. I wonder how it's going to work with the invite system. Because obviously on PC, it's not on Steam, the game. It's on Bethesda Launcher. And Bethesda Launcher doesn't have a friends list. It'll probably be the same as, say, Elder Scrolls Online. But I have no idea how that works either. With their friends list system. I can go ahead and do that. There we go. Something we did on the exterior is also use these kind of posts to go ahead and hide the seams. We might just do the same here as well, if it's easier. But we may not need to everywhere. Probably only on the edges where we don't have the floor beams. I hate these stairs. I hate these stairs. These are awful. I hate these stairs. They really don't work. You know, we need to find a floor piece here which works properly, you know? It really doesn't work. What else are people saying, though? The Idiot Box says, what's some of your other mods? Because I want to use your mods. You seem to be making cool stuff right here. Don't get me wrong. This is easily the coolest thing we've done so far. But, my name, I'm trying to think. It depends what system you're on. If you are on PC, then you can go ahead and find me on the Nexus quite easily. But, it's just the final render on the Nexus. All one word. But on the console side of it, it is Final Render 21 is the username that all the mods are made on, if you're on Bethesda.net. And not all of the mods that are on PC are on Bethesda.net. It's only ones that are definitely capable in all systems that are on Bethesda.net. Does that make sense? And obviously the best way to go ahead and find it is, like, if I make a video showing a mod I did, you know, like the Kellogg's apartment, for example, there'll always be a link to it in the description. Like, that's the thing I don't think some people realize, is that you can go ahead and download mods onto your PlayStation from your computer. Did you know that? If you go into the Bethesda.net website, you can look at all the mods, and you can add them to your list, so when you go back to your PlayStation and turn them on, since it's the same account, it will automatically download the new mods. It's a really nice way to go ahead and download mods for your PlayStation quickly, by doing it on your computer instead. Or even your tablet, for God's sake. Because let's face it, the console interface is a bit slower than a PC's, isn't it? Right. But yeah, I hate the stairs. I like the look of the walls and stuff here, but I hate the stairs. Do we really have nothing else in this kit that's a bit, you know, thicker? With two C's. Let's see. We've got some nice railings, though. That's not a railing. I'm fed up with this creation kit. These aren't railings. These are freaking broken bits of wall. God damn it. And, there is a skylight. There's a skylight in this kit. Oh, there we go. Skylights are possible. They're in this freaking kit. We'll definitely have to try to work out how to get that integrated somehow. We'll have to adjust the exterior. And we'll have to adjust this cell as well. Because technically it's an interior cell. I don't know if an interior cells can also have external styles and stuff like that. We'll have to see what we can do. But skylights are actually part of this kit, which is really nice. And we also don't want ceiling bits because those are one way, as in you can see through one of them. Yeah, so these are the floor sections. Do they really not have any that are thicker? I don't think they do, you know. I think they're all just really, you know, thin. Oh, that really sucks, That really sucks, darn it. Darn it, Gromit, Janet. Damn it, Janet, Gromit, damn it, Yomit. So what could we do then? Oh, we do have a nice quarter piece here, though. That'll be useful here, I expect. Please be useful here. Anyway. Better turn the snapping back on. But snapping is fairly universal, so it should work no matter what. Oh, that's a perfect fit, Gromit. Okay, it's not quite perfect. We go ahead and set our snapping point to this bit of flooring, rather than the other one. Then it should work just fine. It should fit like a nun's glove, this should. Let's see. Boom, there we go. Yep, that's not bad, that's not bad. Okay, there's a bit of hangover here, but that's not the end of the world. We can go ahead and put some kind of L bracket on there, and that'll look fantastic. What else are people saying, though? Let's go ahead and see what's up. I'm reading some of this. The Idiot Box says, when do you think the Fallout 76 beta will be out? I'm going to go ahead and pour myself a new drink as well, by the way, when answering this question, because it's very, very hot right now. And obviously we're streaming for longer, so I need to make sure I stay hydrated. Honestly, I think that the beta is going to come out sometime in August. I think sometime in August because in interviews about 3 weeks ago, they said, right, this was Pete Hines saying this. He was sending it to a magazine, but it was on video as well, so you'll probably be able to find it somewhere. But he said in an interview that at the time, they were kind of running in their own internal closed beta, you know, so only the members of staff, you know, in their offices could play it. And then the month after that, they're going to open the closed beta. And he kind of said it accidentally, so to speak, you know, so who knows, it might not be fully true. But that would kind of put it into August time. And I think that would be a good amount of time, you know, because obviously they need to let people play it for a little bit, turn it off, and then go back and fix any errors. And then maybe come back and do a second one, possibly. So I think August would be a good time for it. Gives people a good amount of time to play the game and gives them plenty of time to fix any problems. Although, that being said, some people are saying there's rumours that the game is just going to have its beta, and then the beta is going to stay turned on until the game is released. In which case, the beta could start in, like, September. You know, honestly, who knows at this stage. But it'll be interesting to see if they do just start the beta and then let it carry on until the game is fully released. And if that also happens, will we get to keep our characters if we had the beta? You know, or will we have to start again when the full game is released? It'll probably be easier just to make us start again. And I wouldn't mind doing that, you know, because I'm bound to make mistakes with my current character in the beta. And then when the actual game comes out, I can make smarter choices about like my perk choices and stuff, you know? Okay. And Commander Klepto says, you take a sip from your trusty Vault 13 canteen. Who knows what that's from? Well, that's pretty obvious, really, isn't it? And David Herman says, Render looks like he's hot. I am hot, aren't I? Or do you mean as in the temperature? I honestly don't know. But, yes, it is very hot right now. It's been pretty good throughout the entire day. But just as the evening started, boom, hot. It's like, oh no. It's always when I'm live streaming as well that the heat starts to kick in. You know, during the day it's fine. Then as soon as it gets a little bit late and the sun is like, hey, Render, are you getting ready to do a stream? Are you getting ready to do a stream? Are you getting ready to do a stream? Boom! Put some heat in your face right there. And also, of course, I've got like the lights on me and stuff like that. I've got the bright lights and stuff. Alright, so that is the... This is the exterior bar, isn't it? Because we do have a balcony where you can go ahead and drink your beer. How about we go ahead and see if we can find the frame for this? That doesn't really matter because I renamed it, did I? Okay, so frame in the static. We should find the door frames in here. Let's see. See, house kit ground frame. This is what I mean by many mods that you may find and stuff which have pre-made buildings. They're just kind of pre-built prefabs like this. Whereas obviously none of our mod is built with stuff like this, all kind of pre-assembled. Everything is unique, which is great. But I do need a door frame. Is it that? It might be better to just type in door, actually. Go to door in static. I'm far more likely to find them. Alright, so bathroom stall static. No. BLD, plug top door. Yeah, this is what I'm after. Stuff like this. BLD, plug top door. Yeah, things like this. Go ahead and grab that. Give it a rotate. It was a double one, wasn't it? Yeah. Accidentally deleted it there. Where is it? Here we go. Oh, it is metal. Don't Do I really want one that's metal? Yeah, I suppose why not? Wooden door, metal frame, why not? Make it look a bit scrappy-dappy-doo. Right, so that's that there. And now, push it into the walls. Just like that. Right, so that's that done. Now that we've got the frame in there, though, just a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. We need to adjust the walls a little bit so they fit the frame snugly. As I said, I haven't done this for the exterior yet. I'll have to, because it makes it much, much easier. Let's see, it's a little off center there, isn't it? I need to bring some of them. In fact, the entire door frame is off center. Go ahead and push it all back. Just like that. And now cross like that. Yep, that'll do. And we can even get rid of the piece that's covering, can't we? Because we don't need that anymore. And slide this one up like that. And the whole point of doing this is that it makes your actual door animation seamless. Meaning that the player will never have any trouble with the door kind of glitching into the walls and looking a bit weird. Not only that, but it also makes the place look a bit tidier, you know? Right, that's that, but the door's a little too low. Tell you what, let's make this for snapping point. I believe doors, specifically, do snap into the frames perfectly. Not necessarily the other way around, like going ahead and snapping walls to door frames, but snapping doors into door frames, I believe works perfectly. I presume by design. If not, then I'm going to cry if this doesn't fit properly. There we go. So that should be a perfect fit now. And it looks pretty darn snug, doesn't it? And lower that down a bit. Just like that. So yeah, looks much, much neater around this door frame now, doesn't it? Much neater. Go ahead and lower that. Perfect, 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 perfect. And of course we'll have to do the same for the lower one. And lower it down. It's all about tidying it and making it look good. And I know that not everything in Fallout needs to look good, but it needs to not stand out as an error. Because if you just put a door frame in there, then the actual game just works normally. But if you try to cover it up using untidy ways, it looks untidy and the player notices. Does that make sense? The player notices if something looks a bit off, because the modder has tried to jam it into their own kind of unique style and it doesn't quite work. So often it's a good idea to just do this. Just get it to work and do it the proper way. But also, it doesn't necessarily have to be the correct size. You can go ahead and shrink these doors if you want to. And what was that right there? Oh no, I'm going to miss that message. Andrew Zambaros has just subscribed. Thank you very much. Zambaros! I wonder, what kind of subs are we on now, actually? I seem to remember yesterday we were very near 43,000. We're on like 42,950. Yeah, we're over 43,000 now. Nice. Not bad. Thanks very much, gang. Hey. Let's go in and get some more now, shouldn't we? Okay, but yeah, I think yesterday we were on like 42,950 yesterday. So that's not bad. That's not bad, considering I didn't upload anything. Okay, guys. So remember, gang, these entire streams are brought to you ad-free. They're brought to you entirely ad-free because we have the donations open. The reason we're not getting interrupted by ads is because we have the donations on. So please go ahead and consider supporting the Final Render channel by sending in donations. We have the PayPal open, we have the Super Chats open, the Patreon open, and of course we also have the YouTube sponsorship program open. You can do whichever one you want. And oh my gosh, another notification right there. William Baker has just subscribed. Thank you very much, William Baker. But if you really can't go ahead and donate, a really good way to go ahead and help out the channel is to go ahead and share spike the stream. That's a really great way to go ahead and get new people in. You know, you go ahead and get that share spike going so we can get as many people watching the stream as possible. And another thing as well is that some people, when it comes to donating, they can't donate regularly, but they say can at the end of the month. That's where Patreon comes in. You know, there's plenty of ways for you to go ahead and do that. And of course, if you go ahead and become a sponsor, or you go ahead and become a $5 and up patron, you get an NPC named after you in this mod, which is pretty sweet, if you ask me. Alright, so please consider doing that if you are enjoying the live stream at all. I'd certainly appreciate it, and I'm sure Dave would as well. Wouldn't you, Dave? Yeah, I know. Dave is itching for the new graphics card we're going to get. All the money that we're getting via donations is going towards a new graphics card, which we are going to get hopefully before Fallout 76 comes out. Because I want that to be absolutely flawless. You know, I don't want any kind of graphical hiccups when Fallout 76 comes out. At least that's not hardware fault anyway. This is a really irritating door frame because the center point is on the friggin' floor for some reason. And I don't know why. Go ahead and do that there. It's kind of a weird size, this frame. Or this doorpost even, sorry. Make it a bit smaller still. There you go. Obviously, you say, but final render, you're adjusting the size of the door. Well, I'm not. I'm only adjusting the size of the frame. Because doors can be different sizes, can't they? That is a bit small, though. That is a bit too small. Don't want it to be too small, do we? If it's too small, it'll stand out as being too small. What we could do in this case, then, is... could we get rid of those posts? Well, we can't really get rid of the posts either, can we? What we'll probably do, we'll probably glitch the frame into the posts, just as they are. And then just kind of pretend that there isn't an issue. You know what I mean? So now, if I turn on the snap in here, this should work, right? No, it looks like I need to snap this to the new door panel. So select that as a render point, click that, hit OK, hit apply. And you will have to sometimes go ahead and readjust your snapping points and stuff like that, especially if you're rescaling stuff. Some people have said, I've got the snapping on, but my two floor pieces won't connect together. And it's because they're, say, from different sizes or they're different kits and stuff like that. Like, try to snap vault pieces onto regular floor pieces is quite a common one. Because they're not necessarily designed to work together. So you've kind of got to reassign new snapping points as you go along in order for it to be quick and easy. You'll kind of get the gist if you start to use snapping points on a regular basis. But it's pretty simple, really. Alright, so... and I'll go ahead and lower this just a tad. Just a tad, please. Oh, I've got snap on, that's why. Lower it just a tad, like that. And maybe a bit back, just like that. That should be good, then. Oh, the door frame is floating slightly. Is it because I adjusted its scale? Just put that onto 1, then. Put that onto 1. I don't know why Windows yelled at me then. And then lower it down. Let's see. Try to get it snug with the floor. There we go. And adjust the door again. Snapping on. Is that all good then? That should all be good. Nope, it's not quite in the center, is it? Is it? No. There we go. Should be fine now. Should be fine. We'll also grab another one of these wooden beams as well to help hide this seam. Help hide it up, you know? Cover up the little errors and stuff. There's nothing wrong with covering errors with like other bits of material. Actual builders do it all the time, you know? All the time. They just cover it up. You know? Just a lick of paint. You know, that'll do it. Just a lick of paint. Yeah, that's what plastering is basically, isn't it? It's covering up the imperfections in between bricks. Because obviously bricks are cemented together. So what do? You plaster over it. It's that simple. But if there weren't any imperfections in between bricks because we just had like one giant brick, we wouldn't need to plaster it. Makes sense, right? Alrighty. But it's not going to be that easy because it is slightly off center. So let's go ahead and adjust its position using individual degrees. Right now I'm adjusting its rotation just using individual degrees. And you might have to do this for scaling and position and stuff. That's really hard to move with the mouse. Because obviously, your mouse obviously has a certain DPI and your hand obviously moves a certain amount. But just going ahead and changing it numerically like this will go ahead and give you much finer results if you really need to get little adjustments, just like this. Oh, camera. What are you doing, camera? There we go. So yeah, that's looking alright now. I wonder if I just go ahead and adjust its rotation a tad more. And move its position just like that. There you go. So now that covers up that error and fits perfectly. Not bad, right? And those doors work. So what I could probably do now as well, I could probably connect these doors up to their actual teleporting things. So we can actually enter this place as we normally would. Would you guys like to see that? Would you guys like to see that? I think it'll be pretty good. Alright, Kiloton06 says, have you played Hello Neighbor? I haven't played the actual released game. I played the very first alpha they had. And that was actually pretty good, the very first alpha, because it was very simple. But I started to watch other YouTubers and stuff playing like Alpha 3 and Alpha 4 or whatever it was. And it's like, it's looking like they just added far too much to it. It started to become quite complicated, whereas Alpha 1 was very simple and that's what made it really tense and clever. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But I know it actually had a proper story and stuff like that, which is very cool. Because it didn't need one. They could have released it just as like mini games or like kind of repeatable levels and stuff. But no, they actually went to the effort to make a proper story. So that's really cool. I don't know how well it's done. I think it's done pretty well actually for an indie game. Very well. Right. Yeah, let's go ahead and get these teleporting doors in. Because these are teleporting doors. We'll start with the bar one first. I believe these are teleporting doors anyway. I certainly hope so. Yes, DC bar load door. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to teleport. And what we need to do now, with this reference open, with this box open, I'll move it to the other monitor for now. Or even put it there, why not? We need to go to our exterior cell. We need to go to our exterior cell so we can go ahead and link this door to the door that it's meant to open. And then it will do the same for the other side. So if we go to our Diamond City, our exterior Diamond City. And you can do this for other things as well. It doesn't have to be doors. You can go ahead and have teleport things for items, for example. So you could say, I don't know, click on a bookcase, and then it will send you to a new area. Like, often you see it in the game for ladders. You know, they have a ladder, but you don't actually see your character climbing up a ladder. But instead, it just does what a door does. It activates a load area, a load screen. And that's basically what we're doing. We're making it so that we're telling the game, when the player selects this door, activate a load screen to go to another door. And that's how they work. And it's very simple, really. Okay, Aka Lifeguard says, how big is this mod in megabytes? Oh, it's really small because there's no external assets. It's something like 700 kilobytes. You know, I think. Anyway, when it comes to the Xbox and PC version, that may be bigger, simply because I can add previs in order to give it more optimization. Let's take a look, actually, just out of curiosity, because I think it's like 700 kilobytes or something, maybe even less, because it's just data. It doesn't actually add any items. If I go to, where are my Steam games? Steam games, Steam apps, common, Fallout 4, data, yada yada yada. So let's find it here. Once I go through all the damn files showing all the friggin' Creation Club assets which were downloaded that I didn't ask for. It is... Here we go. Found it here. It is 717 kilobytes. Is the size of the mod so far. Because, you know, since there's no new sounds, textures, or 3D models, it's very, very small. So, if we go up to our balcony. This is our balcony right up here, which leads to this kind of nice little area where you can have a drink outside. Remember, this window right here, this is the one that is currently connected to our door inside. So if we now hit this teleport box, hit select reference in render window, it gives us this little target icon that I'm moving around with the mouse. Double click on this door and then hit OK. And now that it's done that, if we turn our markers on with the M button, we can see this little orange box. This is where the player will be standing, and the kind of triangle on the front is pointing to where the player will be facing. So if I wanted to, I can go ahead and bring it forward a bit, which is a good idea because it's currently inside the door, so the player will be stuck inside the door. We don't want that. Bring it forward a little bit, and we just want the player facing forward, don't we? But if we wanted our player to, say, be looking this way, looking to the right, then we could just rotate it to the right, like that, if we wanted to. But we don't need to do that, so that's it. That's how you make a teleporter door. Pretty simple, right? As I said, you do need to kind of plan a little bit ahead in order to make it easier for yourself, but, you know, make sure your doors are where they should be, etc. But everything is actually pretty easy to do. Let's go back to our bar. And as you can see, we've got the same thing on the inside. Have we? Yep, indeed. We've got the same thing on the inside. So what we do, move it out this way and rotate it like that. So in this case, it might be an idea to go ahead and slightly rotate it. Just like that. Just so the player can kind of look in this direction rather than... Actually, no, what am I talking about? It really doesn't matter, does it? Really doesn't matter. Just as long as they are not inside the door. Otherwise, that will really confuse the player. Done. You know what I mean? The Idiot Box says, do you make weapon mods? No, I've never made a weapon mod, actually. Never made a weapon mod. What else are people saying, though? Spitfire says, hey, what's your favourite thing to do in Fallout 4? I'm trying to think. Tell you the truth, honestly, I just like doing the normal standard vanilla quests and stuff like that. That was always my favourite thing. Oh, our floors aren't lined up. Our floors aren't lined up. There we go. Other things I like to do in Fallout 4 is I liked to... It doesn't really matter anymore because I've kind of done it all, but I really liked collecting all the power armor on my first playthrough. If I found a power armor frame, I would go ahead and do my best to try to get that back to Red Rocket, which is where I stashed everything. And then I would try to find all the individual pieces I needed of that power armor, because you know how it is, sometimes they don't actually have all the pieces when you find them. They're like missing arms and body pieces and stuff. I really wanted to go ahead and find all of them. And that's something I really enjoyed doing. And kind of similar to the guns as well, I wanted to have one type of gun in my storage cupboard. So, you know, like one pipe pistol, one 44 Magnum, you know, one laser pistol, all that kind of stuff. I wanted to have at least one of everything. I was the Dalai Lama of scavenging, so to speak. The Dalai Lama of handguns. And yeah, that's stuff I like to do in Fallout 4. And of course, regular old quests. And Kiloton06 says, have you played GTA 5? Yes, I have. Very good game. Very good game. Not too fussed about the online about it, so to speak. I've played it for a bit, but it is alright. Captain Mudcrab says, you should look through the Pinterest for mod ideas. There's some quality stuff on there. I don't like Pinterest. There's too many just pretentious pictures of food and stuff like that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Here's the thing. I hate social media. I know that sounds bad because obviously I have a YouTube channel and stuff like that, and a Twitter and a Discord and stuff like that. You should definitely go ahead and, you know, join the Discord and stuff, by the way, to talk to me and other renderlings. But I really despise, like, Facebook and stuff like that. You know, this is not my thing. Not only do I think it encourages people to bully each other, but I find the whole thing just so freaking snobby, you know? Maybe that's me being snobby, saying it's snobby. I don't know. But I find the whole thing just a bit irritating. Just gone ahead and made those stairs a bit bigger. It was kind of bugging me that they were not the right size of the thing there. I do think we need to go ahead and grab one of those trim pieces, though. Just to kind of hide the edges of the stairs, at least. Alright. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to grab the name of this thing. So we can find that trim part. Put the cell view back. Back with you. And paste this into there. So, where were those trim parts? They were right here. Corner one will do. Just like this. And, corner. So now rotate this. That's not a corner. That's just one piece. You goddamn liar game. Oh, I don't mean one piece, you know, the pirate captain from that anime. I mean it is only one piece of wood. And we don't want one piece of wood. Yeah. Corner one. Surely that should be right. I thought that is what I dragged in. Guess I was wrong. Must have just dragged in the wrong one accidentally. Alright. Pop this in just like that. You know, just to kind of make it look a bit more... Make it look a bit more thick, a bit more solid, you know? Give it a bit more strength to it. Alright, how's it looking? It's looking a bit sloppy, though. It needs to be a bit closer. Just like that. And maybe a little bit up. There we go. That's not bad. That looks a bit tougher now, doesn't it? We could probably do the same for this up here as well, with just one of the free ones, can't we? Put that up there just to make it look a bit sturdier. I'm liking the look of this now, actually, now I'm seeing it. Why don't we go ahead and add this to the entire railing system up above? Get one lined up quite nicely. And that's not glitching at all, is it? Nope. Go ahead and do this so that it looks a bit less weak. You know, give it a bit more structural integrity. I know it's adding more stuff for the game to load and stuff like that. But since we're on a different cell... It's technically a much smaller area. So going to the inside of things won't actually take too long to load and will be much easier on the system. It's only really the outside, which is, you know, double the size as Diamond City is meant to be now. That's what it'll take a long time to load. But the insides won't really take long to load at all. And I have tried the mod on PlayStation 4. It's very interesting to try on PlayStation 4. Because on PlayStation 4, it lags about the same as it does on my PC, but it only loads half the city at any one time. So imagine the same amount of lag that you've seen on my previous live streams when we look at the full finished Diamond City, but imagine only half the city is actually visible to the player. You know, they literally cut the draw distance in half on the PlayStation, so you can literally only see half the distance. It's very interesting to know that that's where the compromise would be. You know, on the draw distance. I would have thought they might do it on the texture quality or even the model quality. But no, they did it on the draw distance, which is an interesting choice. You know, for an interior cell. Because I believe Diamond City is technically an interior cell. Could be wrong on that, though. Could be another world cell. Oh, no, of course it is. It's got its own weather system. So, yeah, it's a world cell. Yeah, this looks much neater now we're doing this. Again, don't need to do it. Don't need to do it. But it looks better with it. And the player will be happier when they look at it. Obviously, they won't know, unless they watch these live streams, which I'm sure hopefully some of you will. Unless they actually watch this, they'll probably never know the amount of effort we go into making some of these things. But it all adds up in the end, and it makes it a better thing. There are some times in mods when people say, it doesn't have to be completely realistic, you know, the player's not going to notice. But they notice if something normal is taken away. You know, if something doesn't look quite right, it just doesn't look right, you know? And it sticks out like a sore thumb. Like this right here. But they're technically overlapping, so you can see there's like a little texture glitch right here. Players will notice that, and it will put them off. So a very easy way to fix it is just to adjust its position by like one tiny little unit in like, say, that direction. And now they're technically not overlapping, so there's no glitching anymore. Simple to do. Makes it look much prettier. Yeah, okay. Much nicer, that is. Now much nicer. Now we've done that. This gives it a bit of thickness, and it still has the kind of undercarriage look to it. Undercarriage look? Is that the right word? Undercarriage is part of a car, isn't it? Not really an appropriate word to use, is it? Well, it's not inappropriate. It's not repulsive. It's not rude. It's not disgusting. But it, you know, could have done a better choice of words, maybe. Alright, so that's that there. Lower it down one like that. What else are people saying, though? William Baker says, US truck driver loves the work you do and share it with a smile. Wish I had time to build items like this. Mostly download and play the game. Add mod to continue. Thanks for the hard work. Thanks, buddy. That's really cool. Do you have like a PlayStation inside your truck? You know, in the back? That'd be quite cool. You know, 'cause there isn't too much space, I suppose, like that. But you could probably have a PlayStation or something like that in there, as long as it doesn't draw too much power, I suppose. That'd be quite cool to know, actually. Yeah, thank you very much for the compliment, buddy. Thank you very much indeed. What was I going to say? There was something about... I actually did do a player home in the settlement mode, which was in the back of like an 18-wheeler. You know, in like the kind of cabin. Well, not the cabin so much, but the actual truck part. Yeah, the storage part. The long bit. You know, inside the long bit. That's where I went ahead and built a little player home. And it works really well, actually. Because it was really, really constricting. And I was also doing it in the settlement mode, so it was even more constricting. And it made a really nice home in the end of it, because it was tiny, you know. It felt like one of those Japanese apartments, or kind of like a hobbit home, you know. It was tiny. Simply J says, final. If you're a man of equality between religion, then check out the word of hijab today. My mum is an ambassador for Qatar. Honestly, I'm not interested in getting involved in religion right now. What else is there? I'm trying to read that name right there. Oh man, I completely missed it, but somebody followed on Patreon, and it doesn't give me a notification as to who did that. I need to quickly check this right now. Quickly go onto the Patreon there, because I missed the name. Oh no. I'm quickly checking the name of who just did that. Jamie Honeybell has gone ahead and become a $5 patron. Right there. Everyone go ahead and chant. Jamie, 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 Jamie. Everyone go ahead and chant Jamie Honeybell for donating $5 to the Patreon. Thank you very much, buddy, for doing that. That is fantastic. You will now have an NPC named after you in the finished mod. You know, whether if it's a guard or maybe someone in the bar, there will be an NPC named after you. So thanks very much for doing that, mate. That all adds up, especially all towards this graphics card fund that we are making. So thanks very much. Anyone else wants to contribute? Remember, we need a lot of NPCs to go ahead and do this mod. So the more people we go ahead supporting the Patreon or the YouTube sponsorship program, then that'll be fantastic. We can go ahead and get some fantastic, cool names for all of our NPCs in there. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jamie. That's very, very kind of you to go ahead and do. What else is there in the chat? Will Corey says, hello, what's up? Haven't been here in a while. We are building a bar inside our Diamond City. This was nothing at the very start of the stream. Absolutely nothing. It was just like that floor tile. Now we're starting to get an actual bar. Well, that's a good point, actually. We need to go ahead and make this door work, don't we? We need to get this door working. So what's it called? DC bar load door. Yep. Make sure you go ahead and make a duplicate of a load door when you're going ahead and working with load doors. Because if you just drag one out of the pre-made assets, you might accidentally make a load door not work. I remember at one point I downloaded a mod and I went into a door that was meant to lead me into a player home, and it took me inside like the Institute or something like that because the guy hadn't duplicated the door he wanted to use, and it took me somewhere else accidentally, which probably meant that if there was a quest involved with that door, it probably would have broken the quest as well. It would have led him inside that home. So be careful with stuff like that. Anyways, we need this reference window here again, and we need to go back to our Diamond City. Back to the Diamond City. And suppose on that, you know, we can also show some of the people who have been missing so far. Like our Will Corey, what he's missed so far. Oh boy, even the computer is starting to choke at this. Oh, it's because the markers are on, that's why, yeah. Oh boy, oh boy. So this is what we have been building. Our huge Diamond City expansion. It is probably pretty much doubles the size of Diamond City, maybe. Yeah, we got like a shopping center down there. We got a park area there, a kids play park. We've got a water purification area. We've got dozens of guard towers. We've got apartments here. We're going to have a Church of Atom here. There's a player apartment there. And this entire building right here is going to be our bar. We're going to be going ahead and making the front door a front door now. So you see what I mean about the door frame? There's no door frame here, so it just looks a bit weird. But if we had a door frame, it will look much neater. We'll have to do that later. Okay, so now, reference window. Remember, this reference window is connected to the door inside the bar. We now go ahead and click on this, select reference, double click our door, hit OK. Okay, so that's done now. Turn the markers back on. There we go. Right now, our player is facing the door when they come out, so that's obviously the wrong way. We need them to face this way. Remember, the kind of pointy cone is where the player is looking when they exit the building. So they will be facing, you know, the, well, it's not the blue yonder, is it? You can actually see parts of the rest of the Commonwealth out there. Do you know what's really going to be annoying about Fallout 76? Not calling it the Commonwealth. I did it in a video the other day. You know, at the very end of... Do you remember when we were playing Fallout 1 the other day? At the very end of the edited video, which is up now, you should go ahead and check it out if you haven't seen it. You know, I edited down the first hour stream to about 20 minutes. At the very end, I called, what's it called, like the Capital Wasteland. I called it the Commonwealth, and that's going to happen a lot when 76 comes out. In fact, is there really a name for West Virginia in Fallout 76? I mean, you know, like Fallout 3, it was obviously called the Capital Wasteland. In Fallout 4, it's called the Commonwealth. And what's it called in West Virginia? You know, in Fallout New Vegas, it's called the Mojave. Well, that's its real name, I suppose, isn't it? So there we go. That's all the doors working, I believe. This is where the player will be facing when they enter. We ought to test that, actually. We ought to test that pretty soon. We'll test it in like 10 minutes or so. Let's see if we can just quickly fix some of the little errors and stuff like that before we go back into the creation kit and start testing stuff again. You know, anything alarming we haven't done yet. Yeah, the damn ceiling. How about we fix the ceiling? That would be a nice thing. Okay, we need a flat ceiling for this specifically. Because, obviously, this ceiling for here, this is going to be the floor of the luxury penthouse that we built that the player owns. So let's go ahead and just bring this up just like that. And again, I don't know how we're going to get to the door. How are we going to do the door for the player home? I honestly have no idea. But this is the player home right here. I'm going to do that. Turn the old snap-in back on. The snap-in is not entirely lined up properly. Okay. So let's go ahead and fix this now then. Click on that there. And assign a new snap-in point. Again, in order to assign snapping points, you can't see it because my camera is in the way, but there is a finger kind of pointing at a notepad towards the top left of the creation kit. Takes you to this window, and then you can go ahead and hit snap to reference, and then you can hit select reference in render window. It gives you this little arrow again, so you can double click on it, and then that's how you select your new reference point to go ahead and make snapping easier. And it works really well. It can get a bit annoying after a while to go ahead and click, but it makes it easier in the long run, trust me. Having things snappable is just an absolute blessing. It really, really is. So let's grab those now. There you go. So now they line up perfectly. So that's part of the ceiling done. What about this bit here? Probably just go ahead and duplicate this across like that. I honestly have no idea how we're going to get into our player home. I have no idea. We could change it. We could make it so it's like an elevator or something rather than a door. That might be quite cool, actually. Have like a little elevator down there or something. I don't know. We'll have to see. I love the idea of having like the player home and the player bar in the same cell. It's like, yeah, that'll be a bit annoying, and it will make it load slower and stuff like that. It's like, nah, just have them as separate cells, you know. Plus, also, we can then say like make a teleport marker just for the home. So you can say pull up your Pip-Boy and just fast travel into your player home rather than go to Diamond City, then go up the elevator, and then go down the street. You know, you can just fast travel into your own home. Which I like. Not enough player homes do that. Right, what else are people saying, though? Tech Tree says, yo, 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 I gotta go. Bye. Okay, everyone say goodbye to Tech Tree, everyone. Everyone say goodbye to Tech Tree. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Spitfire says, is this a Diamond City settlement a mod? This is a mod. Yes, it is all a mod. And you'll be able to go ahead and download it when it's ready. A lot of people still ask, when's it done? When's it going to be done? Can you give us a date? I don't want to give people a date, because if I give people a date, I have to hit that date then. And if it's not out by then, people are going to be upset. Look what happened with Mass Effect Andromeda. You know, they said, we'll have it done by this point. And it wasn't ready, so we got an awful game. So, only set a date if you're pretty darn certain that it's good enough. You know what I mean? Only set a date if you're certain that it's good enough. Like, that was the thing with Fallout 4. Everyone was like, oh my god, how on earth is the game going to be released in 3 weeks or whatever it was? 3 months, sorry. It's like, well, they obviously knew it was ready to go. You know, it's that simple. They had got it to the stage where they were mostly happy with it. Alright, so. And then there'll be someone in the comment section going, well, they didn't put a good story in there. Whoa! And all that other stuff. I love it when people still get angry about Fallout 4. It's like, yeah, dude, you know. If you don't like it at this stage, you're not going to like it, are you? You know what I mean? Alright, let's go in and grab another. Yeah, we'll have a blue one. Have a blue one up here. Go and have a happy little blue one up there. And we need another bit for up there. Go ahead and grab a green one. Try to give it a little bit of variety, you know. Just so it looks a little bit different. Most players probably won't even appreciate that every single wall panel is unique. You know, every single wall panel is unique. And it's just one item that we have painstakingly dragged into position and adjusted. So it actually forms a wall. But it's not the point. They will appreciate it in the sense that it looks different and they think it looks cool. But they might not necessarily appreciate just how long it took to do. You know, they think, oh, you know, you just dragged a few bits in. So yeah, alright. If you say so. Alright, and we need like something slightly offset, don't we? Because, yeah, what are we going to do about the edges here? We need some way to connect up the edges of the ceiling and stuff. The ceiling still isn't perfect. I might see if I can do some stuff to tackle the ceiling off stream. You know, when we're done. Just because that's going to be a bit boring. You know, it's going to be a bit boring. I like to at least try to like put the bar in and stuff like that to kind of see what kind of space we got to play with and stuff. Rather than just fixing the walls and stuff. I know it's about building as much as it is about decorating. And this is the building part of it. But the building part can get a bit dull. So, how about I just try this for now? Just to see, will this work? I don't see why it wouldn't. You know, just put some wooden planes in there like that. But it is like little corners like this which are going to be fiddly. But anyways, we're going to jump in game now. We're going to jump in game so we can test those load doors we did. Kind of see what the stairs flow like and stuff. You know, can our character even go through the stairs? Oh, there's a light box in there. That's unusual. Must have accidentally dragged that in. You know, we can test for stairs, see if there's actually enough space, test for doors, everything like that. And again, you know, also get kind of a sense of space at the place, you know. See how long it takes to run from one end to the other, stuff like that. Imagine where we can put tables and where not, you know. Like under these stairs, you know, we can have like one shady little table, you know, where there's like one man that's sitting and drinking by himself and stuff, you know. Or maybe we can have like some guy playing cards and stuff back here. Like originally this place was going to be a bar and casino. But looking at the space and also the amount of assets we got, I don't know if we can realistically do the casino element. And I know what some people will say, well, why not use external assets? We're on stream 41 now with no external assets. Let's not start adding external assets to this late stage. You know, something I love about this mod is that it doesn't have external assets, so PlayStation guys can use it. Let's not start adding external assets at this late stage, you know, let's keep going with it. What else are people saying though? Ballistic Genius says you can make the entrance a ladder hatch. That's a good point. Could do a ladder. That would be a way we could do it. What else is there in the chat, I mean? The Kitty Cats says, hello. Hello there, the Kitty Cats. How are you? Meow. Hope you're doing all right. And we've also got Tech Tree who's back saying, hey, hey, hey. Hello there. Nice to see you again, buddy. The Idiot Box says, so Render, how do you think they're going to play the folklore creatures? Do you think they're going to go paranormal or just mutated creatures? Because if they pull a Dumb Witch in Fallout 3, then it will be amazing. Honestly, I think they're going to go mutation. I think they're going to go mutation because something they said to do with the main story mode is that the creatures are coming out of cracks in the ground, and the best way to deal with them, or the only way to deal with them, to destroy these cracks in the ground where, say, the Scorch Beasts and stuff are coming from, then the only way to get rid of them there is to nuke it with one of the nuclear missiles. So I suspect that they're probably going to go along the lines of that. These things only started appearing once the bombs dropped. Thus, mutation. You know, it would be very cool if it was paranormal, as you say, like Dumb Witch, and also like, what's the quarry in Fallout 4? I completely forget what the quarry is called in Fallout 4. It's not called Dumb Witch Quarry, is it? There is a quarry, isn't there? Not the slog. Dumb Witch Border. Oh no, it is called Dumb Witch, yeah. But yeah, there is the kind of quarry thing. That's got the haunted thing. There was one of the buildings in Fallout 3 that was basically haunted. You know, they weren't pulling any punches. They were saying, you know, this place is haunted. It's not radiation. This place is haunted. And it was awesome. Okay, yeah. So here we are inside the cell then. I like the way that the ceiling looks. If we can maybe grab this part I'm looking at dead center and then pull it up a little bit. You know, pull it up a little bit. That'll probably be a good way to help make it a bit easier to make the ceiling flat. And hide again. You know, again, hide some of these seams along the tops. We might just do what we did here. You know, and have like a wooden beam. That's typically a very good way to go ahead and hide edges. Just to kind of slide it in the middle. But besides that, the walls all look okay. For the most part. There's pretty much no windows on this side though. And I know that's not right. I know that I did have windows on this wall. So we'll have to look into that. And it's time to test these, I guess. Well, that's weird. It's not letting me do anything with that door. What about this one up here? This one works. Hopefully. Does it take me to the correct place, though? Does it take me to the correct place? And what was that right there? Ooh, and we have got another Patreon. Honey Dragon has pledged $5 via Patreon. Everyone go ahead and chant. Honey, honey, honey. Well, that's an unusual thing to shout at the top of your voice, isn't it? Hey. Everyone go ahead and chant Honey Dragon in the chat for donating $5 via the Patreon. That might be the same person, actually. Just, you know, updating their name. But if it isn't, everyone go ahead and chant Honey, honey, honey in the chat for becoming a $5 patron. Remember, $5 and up patrons or YouTube sponsors get NPCs named after them. So please consider going ahead and sponsoring the Patreon or sponsoring the YouTube channel in order to go ahead and get an NPC named after you. But yeah, I think that might just be the same person just who's updated their name. So thank you very much, buddy. Well, this isn't right. This is very wrong indeed. Why am I under the city? That's very confusing. I'm supposed to be up there. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, let's just use the stairs that the PlayStation 4 version is going to have. Yeah, if you get it on PlayStation 4, since you can't use the elevator, which is at the front, you're going to have to use these stairs at the back. That's the only way to do it, I'm afraid. It is what it is. Okay, and obviously you guys are looking at very poor FPS right now, because there's been no optimization of this whatsoever as of yet. We'll be doing that soon. Does this door work to get back inside? It says Diamond City Bar, which is a good sign. Okay, that door works fine one way, but it doesn't work the other way. Alright, I've never seen that before. Again, I think I'll tackle that in my spare time, because I've never seen that before. Why did this one... I'm going to try it one more time. I'm pretty certain it's just going to do the exact same thing, but I'm curious to know, why could that be? Am I directly below where it's meant to go? Because if it's directly below, there might just be some kind of glitch to where I'm falling down. But it's put me down here. That is very, very odd indeed. Okay, let's TCL. You know, turn the collision off. Let's see if it works the other way. You know, let's see if it works the way it's meant to work. Here, this is where it's meant to take us. Right here. It's meant to take us to this balcony here. Can I get back into the bar this way? Well, we'll have to flip that door around, as you can see, because there was a glitch with it. Yeah, it works that way. What is... What? I don't know. That's very, very odd indeed. Never seen that before. Oh well, again, it's something to look into. You know, make sure the doors work. It might be the case that we've got to say, make an extra copy of one of the doors and just have different doors doing different things. You know, maybe something like that. I don't know. But yeah, how about now we go ahead and just put a couple bits of furniture in here, just to see what we can kind of get away with. You know, kind of see where we could put the bar, where we could put tables, where we can put all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And we'll need to go ahead and put the music back on. And go ahead and reopen the creation kit. Alright, so what else are people saying though? Oh, go ahead and hit yes there. What else are people saying? Okay, Commander Klepto says, paranormal is pretty normal in Fallout though. Dunwich, Honest Hearts, the Cabots and stuff. Well yeah, but it's still not normal. You know, it's still not normal. If it's something as full on as the enemies, I think there needs some kind of explanation to it. Unless there's unique enemies. I've just realised some of my set is falling down here. Oh. Fix that there. But yeah, I do love the idea that, say, something like the Mothman is unique. You know, and there's only one. I love that idea. And he just kind of follows you around and stuff. And you sometimes see him in the distance looking at you. I love that. But obviously things like Scorch Beasts, Beasts of Graftons and stuff, I want to fight them. I want to take them out. I want to kill them. But I love the idea the Mothman is just something that you always just kind of see in the background. Because if I remember correctly, the Mothman legend was mostly that. It was just someone saw it and then it went away. And I love the idea, as I say, that you just see him every now and then. And you go, oh look, there's a Mothman. But you have no explanation for it or anything. I just think that's cool. It's kind of like a lot of stuff with paranormal things. It's like, do you really need an explanation for it though? That's the thing. Do you really need an explanation? Like, here's the thing. Let's say if science 100% proved, 100% irrefutably proved that, say, Bigfoot existed. And, you know, here is one now. It's not very exciting anymore, is it? You know, it's not a very interesting story. It's like, yeah, there is a Bigfoot in that forest. It's protected, though. You can't go near it. And, you know, there's, like, military around the woodland and stuff like that to make sure no one goes near the Bigfoot. But it's there. It's like, oh, that's not very exciting anymore now, is it? Or like the Loch Ness Monster. You know, it's like, yeah, it's definitely there. You know, you can sometimes see it, especially if you go to this place at a certain time. It's like, okay. Never mind. As soon as you find out stuff about the monster, the less interesting it becomes. It's why I'm really, really annoyed that there was a new standalone Joker movie coming out. You know, have you heard about that? It's going to be Joaquin Phoenix doing it. So, good casting, don't get me wrong. But it's like, guys, stop trying to explain the Joker. The Joker doesn't need explanation. He just does. That's the point of him. Even he doesn't know why he does it. It's kind of like, imagine some Hollywood executive going, you know Heath Ledger's Joker? Imagine if we could find out why he was like that. Imagine if we could find out why he did all of it. Wouldn't that be cool? No, it wouldn't be cool. The more you know about the monster, the less scary it is. The less interesting it is. But Joker is just a villain for Batman. That's all it needs to be. And it's the same for, say, like, Bigfoot and stuff like that. It's a cool story with probably some kind of proverb in it as well. That's all it needs to be. We don't need proof he exists or anything. It's just cool, you know? It's just cool. And if he is he's probably endangered. So we've got to be careful with him. Okay. So now that that is all done, let's see what's up. Ashney says, do we know if the mysterious stranger will be in 76? I don't know about that. They haven't revealed too many of the perks that are in the game. You know, the perk cards. Although, wouldn't it be cool if you could roleplay as the mysterious stranger? That would be cool. You know, you put the same outfit on, you grab the 44 pistol, and then you just deliberately look for where players are fighting each other, and then just randomly help one guy out, and then just run away. Never see the dude again. Wouldn't that be cool? I think that would be really cool. In fact, that might be a cool little series. I'm going to pinch that right now. Assuming they have the correct outfit. If I don't have the right outfit, I ain't going to do it. Yeah, mysterious stranger roleplay. That would be cool. Actually, that sounds dodgy when you say that in person, doesn't it? That sounds disgusting. Alright, so we've got another hour of the stream now. So yeah, normally we'd be done after 2 hours, but we're going for an extra hour tonight just to see what's up. Goddamn set falling down and stuff like that. You know, these foam panels I have on the wall and stuff like that, they're great, but they're only blue tacked on because every other thing just completely destroys the walls. You guys can't even see it on camera, but it's bothering me. It's hitting me in the arm. So you just kind of blue tack these foam things to the wall. But because it's hot and it's in the summer, the blue tack dries out and often they fall down. Last night, every single one of these panels, there's like 30 of them, all fell off the floor, fell off the wall. And it takes forever to put them all back up. So where were we? I've completely forgotten. We wanted to go ahead and put in some furniture and stuff like that, didn't we? We do have some more things to fix, but again, I want to do all that stuff off stream. Yeah, I want to go ahead and get everything kind of working. What about the bar first? Let's see what we got with the bar. Let's just type in bar for now. We got barge, barnacle, not barnacle. I don't think there is really a bar I want, but there is one thing. I think it's in the player home set. Type in player home. There is like a player home bar, and that's what I'd quite like to use as the main bar. Oh, wait. No, it's not called down the creature kit, is it? It's called something else. Again, we'll just type in bar then. We'll type in bar. And we'll have static. Concrete rebar. Brotherhood barricades. Oh, yeah, the Brotherhood barricades. You know, they've been causing some trouble recently, haven't they? The old Brotherhood barricades. Being seen in the Fallout 76 trailer. This one. Have you guys seen that? This barricade, which has the Brotherhood of Steel insignia, is in the Fallout 76 trailer. And everyone's like, oh my god, that must mean that the Brotherhood of Steel are in the game. Nope, just means they were there at one point. Assuming it's just not a mistake in the game. Is what it is. Is what it is. What else is there? Jack Vickery says, can you make a Deathclaw candle? A Deathclaw candle? I suppose you get one of the Deathclaw hands and like maybe put candles on its fingers or something. That'd be quite a cool idea, actually. Yeah, we'll try something cool like that. We have done some cool little decorations like that in this thing. Like we've got the basketball hoop flower pots, which is really nice. So stuff like that I think is really cool. I like things like that. Alright, here we go. So we got kitchen bars. This is what I was after, yeah. These kitchen bars. It's in the player house set, not the player home set. Right, it is. I've just lost it now though. Kitchen bar blue, white, or bare metal. That's the bare metal one. I'm going for the ruined variant, of course, not the pre-war one. That's the blue. And that's the white. What colour do we want, people? I like the blue. I do like the blue. What do you think? Do you think we should have the blue? What else is there? Shelley Huggins says, Final Render, which is your favourite Fallout? Fallout 3 is my favourite. We have been playing through Fallout, well, we started the other day, playing through Fallout 1. Had a lot of fun playing that. That's very good fun. Fallout 2 I've never played. I do own it, though. Fallout 3 I think is my favourite one. I definitely think that one. Out of all the ones I have played, I'm probably going to say Fallout 3 is my favourite. Then it's Fallout 4. And then it's Fallout New Vegas. Out of all the ones I've finished, I'm going to say it's that order. That's what I like. Okay, Jonah Bergson says blue. Shelley Huggins says blue. Captain Mudcrab says blue. I say blue. Yeah, let's go with the blue. I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die, and dabba dee dabba die, dabba dee dabba die. Where's my cringe alarm? Some people have shame, I don't. I'll dab on my live stream all I want. Alright, so where can we put this then? Where can we put this big old bar? We got that there. So the players come in here. So you enter here. And I'm thinking back here would probably be the best spot. Or would it? Because we've got the stairs there. We don't want to have the bar on this side of the stairs. Not only will we have less space to work with, but it also means it would be quite an awkward position to work as a barman. You know, if we had the bar, you know, like over there, that would be a bit awkward. So how about we have it over here? Have it over this side. So we've got more space to work with, and thus the member of staff would also have more stuff to work with. You know, we will have, say, like that there. And I'm trying to think, what's the best way to do this? What we could probably do, we could probably go like that. Again, we'll have to raise that one up a bit and adjust it later. Grab that and then rotate it around this way, because I want it longer, but you don't just have a longer set. But what you can do is just glitch it into each other very so slightly. Just like this. If we can get it lined up on the horizontal perfectly. So it matches just right. And then move it back a bit. There we go. So now that's perfectly kind of lined up. Now all we need to do is cover it. Normally, again, I would say, you know, just adjust it. Maybe like 0.1 of a pixel. But I want this to be perfectly lined up. And you see the seam, obviously, here. So what I'll probably do... Do you have beer mats? Oh, we've got beer crates. Oh, no, I've already made those, haven't I? Let's go ahead and get back to the old desk blotter. That's kind of been my go-to thing for covering stuff on tables. Get the desk blotter right there. Obviously, a desk blotter is where you'd write your letters and stuff like that. When you need to send a letter to your dear darling, go ahead and use the special pen, the fountain pen. Pop that right there. Maybe rotate it around just like that. There you go. Problem solved. Now, nobody knows we just artificially extended the length of this bar, which is fantastic, Basil. And we need a an actual, you know, what's the word? Bar door, you know. Let's just type in bar and go to door. DC bar door, PC. What's kitchen? No, it's not that. What's it called then? I honestly forget. You know, the little doors, the little half doors. They are in the game. I've used them quite a lot. I obviously don't want a load door. And I don't just want like a full door. Just like what one of the half doors. It's not called a half door, is it? Well, there isn't anyone called half door, so I doubt that. Jail door, Liberty Prime hatch door. What on earth's that? Liberty Prime hatch door. Are you telling me that there is an actual hatch on Liberty Prime which you can open? Or at least he can open. That's kind of cool. Metal trapdoor. That's kind of cool. Secret door. I wonder where that is then. I wonder. It's clearly a concrete one. I forget where that is. Nuka-Cola lid. Oh, that's for the refrigeration. Vending machines, isn't it? Yeah, of course. See, every time we see one of those vending machines, I've had to drag the machine in, put the drinks in there, and then add a door on separately. You know? It's not just drag a vending machine in. A bit more complicated than that. Painted wooden door. Where are they? If I don't find it soon, I'll just move on. Res door. Because as I said, if you don't find the thing you want, just move on. Otherwise, you'll never get anything done. Trinity door. Truck door. No, cool door, but Not what I want here. Nope, okay, can't find it for now. Oh, we've got like a submarine hatch. That's pretty cool for the Yangtze. But yeah, again, leave it for now then, because I don't actually know. I don't actually know what it's called, the door I want. Let's go on a special field trip, people. Let's go on a field trip to a different cell. We are going to go to... Is it called the Shamrock Bar? I don't remember what it's called, but there is an actual bar. And we're going to go there to see if there's any kind of pre-made bar elements that we can go ahead and use, which will be pretty cool. Jack Vickery says it is part of that the Liberty Prime thing is for his head. That's kind of cool. That's pretty cool indeed. What else are people saying though? V Greenov. Well, I suppose it is, yeah, just V Greenov says, how long are you streaming for tonight? We're streaming for another 45 minutes. We streamed for an extra hour today. So, got a lot of streaming done today. Because I wanted to get the main basics design of this thing done. And then I will go away for a while, build a lot more of this interior bar myself. And then maybe towards the end, we'll stream it again. Just going to do the finishing touches, just so people can see the changes. You know what I mean? Because we kind of have a time limit now. So it's not the Beantown Brewery. Although the Beantown Brewery might actually have some really good stuff. Or is it a coffee brewery? Again, we're just looking for bar elements right now. So let's check out the Beantown Brewery. See what's up. If it's an alcohol brewery, then we might find some good stuff. We might find like taps and stuff like that. I don't want to go to the Colonial Tap House. You know, that's just a regular bar as far as I'm aware. There's nothing fancy about it. It's just a bar. I want things like beer taps and stuff. We might have to make our own ones. If we don't actually find any in the game. You know, fake them somehow. Alright, so. What have we got in the Beanhouse Brewery then? We've got lots of barrels and stuff like that. But again, you know, that's not hard to make ourselves. You know, we can go ahead and make that ourselves pretty easily. Lots of beer bottles. Lots of beer bottles. Again, I've got beer bottles already made. It mostly just appears to be like, just empty beer bottles and stuff. Is there not an actual bar here? Turn the markers off. I've got to be very careful I don't touch anything or adjust anything while I'm in here. Because obviously this is a different cell. And I don't want to edit this cell. I just want to see if there's anything useful we can use in here. I don't think there is, you know. I think it is mostly just factory stuff and empty barrels. And again, you know, I already knew about those. Okay, well, we'll leave it for now then. We will go to a different place. We will head to... What's the other place called? It's not called... Well, Beantown Brewery is there. It's not the Shamrock Bar, is it? Or like the Shamrock Brewery. Or something along those lines. Let's see. There's an oyster bar. I think that's just oysters, though. I don't think there's actually alcohol there. It's not called the Shamrock Bar, then. I honestly thought it was. Shamrock Tap House, that's what it's called. Shamrock Tap House. Okay, let's head there. I mean, it's called Tap House, but it should have taps, right? Beer taps. Should make sense. Here we go, here we go. I don't think I've been here too many times in the base game. I really don't think I have. But we might have the door I want in here. Now I'm looking at this place. This is part of the set. This bar set does contain the door I want. So what I might do, I might just go ahead and grab the name of the bar. What's it called? BLD counter. Remember that, people. BLD counter. So I'll be able to type in like BLD door, and I should be able to find the door I want, you know? Assuming it's got the same name. So yeah. Anything kind of like a pub. Oh dear, that's not nice. Anything like a pub I can use. Are there really no pub elements and stuff like that? Guys, come on. Come on. You're Boston. What are you doing? Where are your pubs? You know what I mean? Where are your pubs, Boston? I'm amazed. They don't have any beer taps or anything unique like that. They just have metal barrels and a bar. Are American bars really just fridges? Do they not have beer taps? That's very confusing. That's very confusing. Maybe it was just an oversight by Bethesda. You know, maybe they thought, you know, in this world, they won't have any beer taps. They'll just have, you know, regular old fridges and stuff. I don't know. We'll definitely have to have a pool table in there, though. Well, at least, I suppose we can at least grab a pool table, can't we? I would just grab everything off of this pool table set. Oh, that's cool. There's even a mini nuke in there. That's a nice little touch. There's a mini nuke stashed in the holder thing there. Pretty dangerous, to say the least. We'll just grab this one because it's already got some decks on it as well. But yeah, I don't think they've got beer taps or anything like that. That is a real shame. That's real goddamn silly. But let's go back to our original cell then. Beantown Brewery. Diamond City Upper Bar. We do need to name the bar as well. That's the thing. At some point someone did suggest a name that was really good, but that was literally months ago now. And I honestly don't remember. So yeah, let's grab this pool table then. We'll definitely have this. You know, kind of above that a pool table, am I right? There we go. Well, we can have it at an angle. Might be kind of cool, in fact. Oh, let's have it over there. Let's have it over that side. Is that the right height? There we go. I thought it looked a bit short. There we go. Put that right down there so people can go in and play pool over there. Maybe have like... I was trying to think. Could we have darts somewhere or something? I think there are dartboards in the game. Could probably put it there maybe. Have like a little dartboard. Why not? What else are people saying though? Jack Vickery says, make a Protectron a bartender. Maybe. I do want to go ahead and name sponsors and stuff like that after all the NPCs. So we might be able to go ahead and do things like name robots and stuff like that and have them be bartenders. I think it'd be cool. What else is there? Shaylee Huggins says, I have to go now. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Everyone say goodbye to Shaylee, everyone. Everyone say goodbye to Shaylee. Hope to see you again in the next stream. What else are people saying in the chat, though? Anything else going on that's really, really fancy? And Jack Vickery says, can you make an aquarium, please? Are there really any fish you can use in the base game? Far Harbor probably has some. I don't really think there's any fish you can go ahead and use, really. There might be a dead one. There's those dead whale dolphin things, which are really scary to look at. But I don't think there's any just regular old fish. I don't think. Anyway. So we got that there. What was it called? BLD counter is for name. BLD counter door 1 anim. Is this what I want? That's the door I was after. This little door here. Yeah, just one of those little short ones. And when it's open, which way does it face? It goes that way when you open it. Yeah, that's probably the way we want it, isn't it? Have it open by default for now, why not? I will line it up with this here. Do that there. There we go. That's doesn't look terrible, I suppose. It looks a little tacked on, I guess, but it's not that bad. And I do want just the BLD counter as well. Just a regular old BLD counter. And we're going to have this at the back. Just connecting to there. Because now we've got like little shelves and stuff to go ahead and put beer on and stuff. And since it's the same as the door type, it should line up pretty nicely as well. I'll have to raise this up a little bit. Oh. There we go, just like that. And bring it forward a tad as well. How's that looking? That's alright. That's alright indeed. I don't want to bring the whole thing a bit forward though. Bring everything a little bit forward. Just so I can see the back of the bar. Just like that, maybe. It's kind of interfering with that. There we go. Oh. There we go. Just like that. There we go. So now we've got a cool little bar area there, which we could put lots of drinks on and stuff like that. And yeah, I think that's alright. And we've got like a more decorative bar here, which will have, you know, like the taps and stuff like that, you know? What about fridges? That's a good point, actually. All the fridges are really big, aren't they? All the fridges are really big. Could go ahead and extend it across the entire thing, I guess. But then we've got to extend this bar again, haven't we? I'll have to have a think about fridges and how we're going to go ahead and get all the fridges in place and have it still kind of fit quite nicely, you know? Andrew Zambos says, if final render, if you put it on top of the bar, it could be named Bobby Bear 007. I'm not going to name the place, I'm not going to name the bar Bobby Bear 007. I'm sorry, but that's just not a good idea. I know it's you. I know that's your name. But that just doesn't work for a name as a bar. It needs to be something quite clever, doesn't it? Okay, but what about darts? Do we have a dart board? I'd wonder if we do. I don't know if we do, actually, now I think about it. Because I seem to remember when I was doing the Halloween special, I wanted to have pin the tail on the mole rat. And I was looking for dartboards and stuff. And I didn't find any. I had to make my own one. So yeah, now I think about it, there probably aren't dartboards and stuff. There aren't even darts. There's darts in Fallout 3 and stuff like that, which you can find. But no actual dartboards. How about... Well, how did I make a dartboard last time? I suppose really you just need any kind of circular thing, don't you? I seem to remember I grabbed like rails that we, say, built the streets out of, and I shrunk them down to tiny size, and that made like a perfect spherical dartboard shape. But really, it could be any circular shape, couldn't it? There's got to be something that already looks similar. What if I just type in circle? What happens if I just type in circle? Fancy table circle. Could just use that. Grab that fancy table circle right there. And we can pop that there. So this can be our dartboard here. It doesn't look like a modern day dartboard where, you know, like triple 20 and bullseye and stuff like that. But this can be a dartboard. We can have that right there. And, normally they have openable doors, don't they? They have openable doors and they'll have like a little bit of chalk and stuff like that in there, won't there? So how about we see if we can do something like that? We can see if we can use like the curio doors or something. Similar to what we did with the entertainment center, I guess. You know, just go ahead and build our own little cupboard area for this dartboard. And we'll probably do something like, maybe get like the railroad spikes and stick them into the board to make it look like it's a dartboard. Or maybe it'll be like a knife throwing thing. Because, you know, it's like, yeah, darts, that's for wimps, darts, that's junior archery. Here in this bar, we throw knives. I think you could do that, couldn't you? This will technically be the third bar in Diamond City as well. You know, there's the dugout, there's the Colonial Tap House, and then there's this here. So it needs to separate itself a little bit, doesn't it? Okay, so curio doors. Fancy curio doors, just like this. Alright, so grab the doors here and move them in front of the dartboard. It might be just a little bit too small, so we'll go and raise them up a little tad, just a little tad. Yeah, I like this, I like this. What about the chalkboard? Pretty much every time you see what's meant to be, what's the word? What's meant to be like just kind of a basic flat billboard thing you see on the walls, it's always a chalkboard. It's always a chalkboard, even if it's not meant to be chalk. It's always a chalkboard. Right, so we get that there. It's a little bit too... It needs to be square. The chalkboard is obviously rectangular. This needs to be square. I need a square object that isn't the metal. I don't just want to be facing on the metal, you know. What if I just type in square? What do I get? What do I get if I type in square? Show me square, please, Bob. No, it wasn't square. Sorry. Alrighty. We're gonna put that up there. There we go. Okay, so Gareth Hole says, look in any speakeasy that might have beer taps. Yeah, we checked 2 of them and they didn't have beer taps, which is a shame. I'm trying to think where else. Someone, Blaimo Congo, is that how you say it? Blahino Congo says, check Kellogg's Memories. There is a bar in there, isn't there? We could probably go ahead and check that out to see if there's any beer taps or anything in there. But right now, I've just suddenly seen. I typed in square, so what I want. What is this? Oh, those are concrete slabs. I don't want that. Picture frame. That's just a picture frame. Where's that in the game? Never seen that before. It's a photo that's meant to be in a photo frame. I've never seen that before. Interesting. Interesting. Again, that's just the same one from the Swan. Okay. Carpet square, carpet square. Let's actually get a long bit of carpet, actually. Carpet edging, carpet edging. Shut up. Carpet rectangular. That's what I want. Rectangular bit of carpet right here. Because this is the yoki. Going to step up to the yoki. Just like that. So yeah, this is where you play darts. You know, you got to stand on here. And then that's how you kind of judge for distance of your dart, you know, where you got to throw your arrow. Or what might be a knife throw in the end. You know, I do like the idea of a knife throwing thing, you know, the more I say it. Plus, it'll be easier to make than a dart thing, because there aren't any darts in the game. But hey. So yeah, let's check Kellogg's memories. I don't really remember what's there. There's like a bedroom area. There's a bedroom area. There is a kitchen area. And I believe there is a bar area. But let's just find out what happens. Let's do the show here. So, K, ooh doo doo da day, ooh doo doo da day. Everyone check Kellogg's memories, ooh doo doo da day. I should find it. I accidentally click on Kellogg's memories all the damn time. In fact, it might even be in recent cells. No, it's not. But I do often accidentally click on Kellogg's memories accidentally. I don't know why that is. I presume it's an interior, right? No, it is not. Okay. Commonwealth cell, I guess, then. Yeah, there is definitely a bar in there. I don't think there's any in the dugout. Are there any in the dugouts? I honestly don't remember. What else are people saying in the chat, though? Captain Moko says, maybe we could try integrating normal taps into the beer bar to make it look like a normal beer tap. Honestly, if we don't find anything soon, I'd rather just make my own. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. Maybe we can use like missiles instead of handles or something. I don't know, just to make it look cool. I don't know, something like that. Obviously not functioning missiles, but just something interesting like that. And Kellogg's memories. Kellogg's memories. H-I-J-K. It's not in here. It's just Kingsport Lighthouse and stuff. Where else would it be then? It's not in Diamond City, is it? I wish there was just a search bar. There isn't a search bar, though. There's this search bar, but that's to search for items inside the cell you're in. Not to just find a specific cell, which is irritating. I'll try interiors one more time. Kendall House Building. Try going by the names. Kellogg's House? No, that's not it. Is it an M for memories? Ooh, here we go. Kellogg's Brain Memories. Haha! Final Render's smartness wins again. Killswitch says combat zone. I don't think there's any beer taps in the combat zone because that wasn't a bar ever. It was a theatre originally. So, okay, in real life there are bars and theatres, but I don't think that one actually had a bar. If I remember correctly, there wasn't a bar in the combat zone. I don't know what theatre it's based on. Pretty nice theatre though. Many people have said, have you gone ahead and thought about rebuilding in the combat zone? I've thought about it, but they really don't give you many assets to work with the combat zone. Because most of it is already pre-broken, and I've never been in the cell before, and it's very confusing. What's going on? Oh, okay, here we go. Oh yeah, this is really weird. Okay, so that's the first one, isn't it? That's when he's a little babby. That's them in the kitchen. That's him going down the long corridor. Is that the bar memory? Again, I gotta be careful, because if I move anything or delete something in here, then it will be that way in the base game as well. No, there is no beer taps. In fact, there isn't even a bar here. It's just a woman behind a table acting as the barman or barmaid. Ah, darn it. Oh well. We could go ahead and grab something like that though, couldn't we? We could go ahead and throw those in there. You know, those taxidermied heads. I'm trying to think, is there anything else we could go ahead and check? Balimo Congo says, have you checked the Boston Club? I know there's none in the Boston Club because I did a huge mod on the Boston Club. I did a massive mod on the Boston Club that took weeks and weeks and weeks. And there weren't any. So I can tell you that for now. Again, you know, I think we'll just have to make our very own... We'll have to make our very own beer taps. Which is cool, actually. It's kind of cool, isn't it? Well, I do want to do that. I do want to grab this sign, though. This neon sign. I want to grab that. I'm having that. I'm pinching your light and I'm getting out of here. Imagine a guy just running in, stealing a light, and then just legging out. That's basically what I just did. In the streaming form. Anyway. Okay, so we've got 30 minutes left of this stream, guys. 30 minutes left of this stream, and just a reminder to people that we do these streams entirely ad-free. We go ahead and have people supporting the Patreon to go ahead and help the stream go, and we also have the donations open. We have had a new member of the Patreon today. Obviously, your name won't be in this graphic, buddy, because this is actually made in After Effects, so I'd have to edit it afterwards. But yeah, if you really want to go ahead and help support the channel, help keep these streams going, remember, we're saving up for a new graphics card ready for Fallout 76, then please consider supporting the Patreon or donating via the Super Chat or via the PayPal link in the description. It all really helps me out. It's all going towards the graphics card, so we can go ahead and have a really good time with Fallout 76 with like maximum frame rate and stuff, and who knows, maybe one day like 4K or something like that, you know? If that's really gonna be a thing at 60 frames a second anytime soon. Probably have to wait till like the 11 Ti series for the 60 frames a second 4K. Anyways, back to our bar right here. So, here we go. So, what's going on here then? What's going on? With those lights on like that. So, we've got our pool table down there. And we've got our bar down here. Let's go ahead and pop our sign on like that. Pop a cool little sign. Again, it's not that cool really, is it? You know, it's just a neon sign. I mean, there's nothing too fancy about it. I mean, you can buy them pretty cheaply, can't you? I mean, it's pretty old technology as well. You know, neon. It's not actually that fancy. It's not even very clever technology. It's like, oh, you've got some light to follow a gas which has a different color in there, have you? You've pumped current into the gas, and that's made it go a different color. Well, aren't you special, neon lights? Why can't you just be like regular lights, neon? Hey? Why can't you just be like a filament bulb? But you've got to be different, haven't you? With your pinkness and your blueness showing everyone up. This is why no one likes you, neon. Sorry, I don't know where my mind went to right there. Okay, so yeah, please consider supporting the Patreon or going ahead and donating via Super Chat or via the PayPal link in the description in order to really help out the channel. Very much appreciated if you do. Excellent. Remember, $5 and above patrons get named after an NPC in this. Or we name an NPC after you, sorry. We don't change your name to be an NPC. That would be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Asking for your birth certificate and stuff so we can change your name. Not quite right. Okay. So we were looking originally for something square for this, weren't we? We're looking for something square for that. How about we see if we can just get like a square table. Square table, that'll do just fine. I know there are some. That's a rectangular one. Cafe table. Yeah, there you go. Just like that. That'll do just fine. So what we'll do, drag that down there. And if we can get this the same size as the door, just by scaling it up appropriately. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit bigger. No, that's okay. I just want like a clean surface for our knife board, I suppose, to go in. And maybe we can like put a photo or some kind, you know, of like, I don't know, are there any posters of like Mayor McDonough or something like that? Or actually no, that doesn't really work with the law of this place, does it? They probably quite like the mayor in this place. That's about the right kind of size. It could probably go a little bit bigger, just a tiny bit. Yep, there we go, just like that. And I'll just bring that to the back just like that. Sole reason for that is just so that we don't have the metal around the board. You know, I quite like the idea of having a different color. And now we need some kind of top, bottom, and middle, don't we? Let's go ahead and open this so that it's we know what kind of size we got to work with. Yeah. Okay, so we can go ahead and maybe just grab like one of these for a start. And see if we can go ahead and line it up with this here. Scale it down a bit as well in size, obviously, so it doesn't go ahead and look a bit too big. Because obviously you can't scale things on one axis, you have to do all the axes. So if you make it wider, it also gets taller and fatter. I suppose that's a good thing, really. Because if you go ahead and allow people the ability to alter single axes, you'll get like really warped textures and stuff, and it'll look a bit weird, and people will abuse the hell out of it and make really weird looking things. And people will notice it looks a bit weird. So it's a good thing that's not in there, really. Even if you just do it accidentally. You don't want to scale things up incorrectly. Oh, how's this looking? Again, you know, we don't need it to be very wide. We just need it to go out and reach the doors. Just like that. Is that even right? I'll have to make these a tiny bit smaller for it to work. Yeah, these doors are a bit too big still. Oh, of course, because they're not together. Yeah, the size is different, isn't it? Let's go ahead and, for this table, in order to make this work properly, they're very, very slightly too big. Very slightly too big. Mine was playing tricks on me. They looked the same size from here, obviously, but since they weren't together, obviously, mine played a little trick on me there. So if we go ahead and make these doors smaller here, with it actually touching, we can go ahead and get it to work properly. Let's see, bring those doors. Yeah, that should be good now. That should be good anyway. Excellent stuff. Right, that's good then, that's good. So now those doors match up properly. And if we can go and find maybe a different colour of wood, well, we'll have a blue one. Why not? Have a little blue one right here. Bit of blue for the dads. Whatever that saying means. Sol, she says, Render, please, have you done the entrance yet? Tell me. I don't mean to be rude, buddy, but this is stream 41, and we've shown it ever since we did it in, like, stream 20. So, yes. I don't mean to be rude, but we have showed it before. So, please stop asking in the chat right there. What else are people saying, though? William Baker says, good neighbour in terms of that. And Gareth Hole says, for Concord Speakeasy. Honestly, guys, I don't think I have seen any. I don't think I've seen any anywhere. And to tell you the truth, even if there are, I now kind of quite like the idea of making our own. I think that would be quite cool. You know, they obviously won't have any animations and stuff like that, but then again, I think it's still kind of cool to go ahead and make stuff your own. As long as it looks like a beer tap, and people kind of assume that that's what it is just by looking at it, then it works. This is at like a slight angle, isn't it? Yeah. Let's see. It's on like 1 degree off on an angle. 1 degree off on an angle. There we go. 1 degree. What a weird offset that would be. But besides that, that's pretty good. Any other bits of wood that we haven't used yet? Got the wooden bit there. That's the same there. I think they're just those two colours of wood, actually, if I'm completely honest. Yep, okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can go into DC Kit. DC Kit Ply. It's the name of it. This is all the wooden plywood sections that you can find inside Diamond City. And again, they're unique to Diamond City as well. You won't go ahead and find these things anywhere else in the game. Maybe we could go ahead and do some broken ones. You know, why not? You know, why not? It might make it look a little bit appropriate. Yeah. Whilst this place is meant to be like the upper class of Diamond City, things still break, you know? Let's go ahead and have this one, but have it be just a little bit broken. A little bit tatty, you know? Just like me. Final render. A little bit broken and a little bit tatty. Throw that there. Bring it down. Put a bit there. Now I'm thinking about it, though. If it's broken on the side, the door wouldn't work properly. What might be a better idea is to have the side panel be just normal. You know, have that be intact. And have the broken one be on the floor. Because otherwise we're going to then match up the door with a broken bit of wood. And that'll cause problems. It'll be a real nightmare to do that. A nightmare to do it and make it look even still. So let's go ahead and drag this there. Drag it up. Like there. It's a little bit too big still, isn't it? It's a little bit too tall. How about that? Oh, that's a little bit too close. As you can see, it's kind of intersecting with the table there. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That works well. And now this one, which is a bit broken. Scale it up. And drag it out this way. Yep, that kind of works alright. That's fairly good size there. What about when the doors are closed, though? We need to see what it's like when the doors are closed also. Yeah, that's not bad. We can move it back just a tad. Yeah, not bad. Oh, but now when the doors are closed, you can start to see this part isn't quite right, is it? It's a little too far forward, and also it's a little bit too low. Do that. I'll scale it up a bit slightly, seeing as we have had to compensate for it being intersecting with the other one. Yep, seems okay to me. Yep, that's all good. Okay, what else are people saying though? Captain Mudcrab says, for the bullseye, you can use a picture of Hancock. They're seen as everyone in DC hates ghouls. They can have the head, or they can have the head of a destroyed synth. Well, that's an idea. I don't think we have any pictures of Hancock, do we? I don't think we have any pictures of Hancock or anything like that. But a synth head. Let's just type in synth. We got like synth helmets and stuff like that. But do we just have like a synth head, I wonder? Because yeah, you know, we could just like attach that to said dartboard. And then have them like throw knives at it. Again, synth armor. Got that one there. Synth Gen Head 1. Technically it's like a headband or something. Let's just grab this NIF. It's not letting us preview it, but let's just see what this NIF looks like. I'm curious. I'm very curious indeed. Oh, unless we just got a static one. No, we just got static full ones by the look of it. Synth retention line. Synth Lab 1. Oh yeah, that's the entire Synth Lab. It's all one model, which is quite interesting. They don't normally do that. And Synth Dead. Yeah, again, they've got full bodied Synths, but not the heads. So let's try just grabbing this random model I found. And just see, is this a head? It's called Synth Head, so it might be. It could just be like an actual severed head of a synth, or it could be, I don't know, like a hat or something. Let's find out. Because obviously, when the synths and the other... What's this? When obviously all the enemies die, they have bits of brain and stuff splat everywhere. So it should make sense that I can convert those bits of brain and broken body parts and stuff into static, right? I'm not crazy, am I? Well, I'm probably crazy for wanting to go ahead and duplicate a bit of robot brain. But let's not ask too many questions. Let's see what happens when we do this. What does it give us? It gives us something. What on earth is that? I have no idea what that is at all. It's emitting lots of pretty lights, though. If there is a way to go ahead and do it, I'll definitely do it. Because right now, I have no idea what that is. I'm going to drag it in so we can get a better look. Let's just call it Synth Head for now. Or just head. Call it head. Let's drag this into the world just to see what it is, because I'm very curious now. It's piqued my interest. Okie dokie. Right, so head. Head. Here we go. So this is literally what I had before. What happens with this? It is a synth head. Nice. Okay, there we go. There we go. That was a cool idea. I like it. Let's go ahead and have this kind of be propped up on the board. And then later on, we'll have like knives sticking out of it. As if people have been throwing knives at a dartboard. That's pretty cool. That's pretty rad. Pretty rad indeed. It's very bizarre though to look at. Very bizarre to look at. Go ahead and open these again. Yeah, that's really odd. It looks cool, as I said. You know, I love the designs of the synths. You know, they really look like they really look like the Terminators, which I quite like. When I first found out that Fallout 4 was basically doing the whole thing of like synths and replicants and stuff, I thought, okay, we're just gonna get a load of people that look like robots. But no, they actually made like they did like the Terminator stuff as well, which I really liked. Because Blade Runner is my favourite film, so I was very happy to find out that Fallout 4 is just basically Blade Runner, which I love. But I also thought, what about like the guys who expect like Terminator stuff? They're probably going to be disappointed. But nope, they threw Terminator stuff in there as well, so that's awesome. You know, obviously the Gen 1s are the scary Terminator looking ones. And the Gen 3s are the ones which are almost exactly the same as regular people, aren't they? And in terms of real life, in terms of the real life ethics and stuff like that, I'd side with the Railroad and say if they act like humans, they have human emotions, then they're human, you know? Or they might as well be. At least not rightsless. You know, dogs have rights, but they're not human, you know? So, and they have rights because they have feelings and emotions and stuff. So, you'd probably, in all fairness, have to do the same for the Sims as well. Just don't tell the brother to steal, I said that, alright? Okay. So let's slide this one in here then. And we've got 10 minutes left. So what we normally do in the last 10 minutes is go jump in game and take a quick look at everything we've done. So yeah, this thing has been very slapdash, obviously. I'll have to go ahead and tidy it up a bit. But since we've got our last 10 minutes now, we're going to go ahead and jump in game and see what it looks like. And then I'll obviously do a lot of stuff in my spare time. And then once a lot of it has been done, and maybe I either need some more opinions or I just want to show it off and stuff before we do an edited video. We just got to do like some final things. We will do some more of this. But next time we stream, we'll probably just do some kind of regular Fallout stuff. We might do some more Fallout 1. The thing about Fallout 1 though is that it means uploading like a Let's Play and stuff like that. Which means editing said Let's Play. And I don't really know if it's worth doing it. I'll have to edit part 2. And if part 2 gets the same amount of views roughly as part 1, then I can just edit them all. If not, I might just have to upload the entire streams. You know what I mean? Or just keep them unlisted. Whatever. So, let's go into these and this. Alright, what else have people said though? Let's go ahead and scroll up on this list a little bit here. Some people say, name the pub the Drunken Radstag. The Drunken Radstag. That's, that kind of reminds me of, the Drunken Huntsman in Skyrim, doesn't it? Sounds like that. Okie dokie. What else are people saying though? Solstry says it would be cool to have a Mr. Handy. Yeah, people said the idea of a robot barman would be cool. I like that idea. And, go into the here. Here we go. Killswitch says, call it the Green Wall Pub. That's not a bad idea. Obviously, the big green wall is kind of what signifies Fenway Park, which is obviously the stadium which Diamond City is in. There we go, right there. Nepe Man says, call it Cool DC Club. It's called DC Club. That's a very simple name, isn't it? What is this? It's for cool. It's for cool pub. Very, very strange name. Blamingo says, add the boiling Mirelurk from Far Harbor. Scale it down and make it look pretty cool. No DLC assets in this either. I don't want any DLC assets in this because, again, you need the DLC then in order to use this. And some people just don't have it still. Remember, some people are young, don't have their own bank accounts and stuff like that. They can't just go and buy DLC and stuff. So, yeah, that is a legit mini nuke. You can go ahead and take it. That's a really cool idea, actually. Bethesda. Cool idea. So, yeah. This was nothing at the very start of the stream. Absolutely nothing. We didn't have this. We didn't have it at all. But now, we have got this huge bar in Syria here. Good work, gang. Good work, gang. You know, we've done some good stuff here. So we've got this entire bar section here. Still, like, some walls and stuff missing. But again, you know, I'll be able to fix all of that. What I'll probably do first off, in my own time, I'll probably fix up all the holes and stuff. So they're definitely not an issue anymore. I'll add some lighting and stuff like that. Because right now, there's no lighting. So everything looks very flat. You know, there's no shadows or anything like that going on. So it looks very, very boring. But it'll be really cool to go in and see what this looks like with like some nice spotlighting and stuff like that. Maybe some dust falling down and things. Yeah, pool table, as I said. Can you squeeze under here? You can't really squeeze under there, but we can put some stuff like some, I don't know. Maybe some beer barrels and stuff like that, you know, in the background just to make that look okay. We kind of half got the doors working. That door up there works, but it takes you to the wrong place. And this door works on the outside, but doesn't let you back in from this side, which is very bizarre. Never ever seen that before. We've got our bar here. You can't see any texture glitches on this side, which is great. Because obviously we have glitched them together. The door works just fine. Indeed it does. And you can close it again as well. We can go ahead and put lots of beer bottles and stuff like that. 49 bottles of beer on the wall. And we got this in here. Oh dear. Yeah, we're going to have like the synth head dartboard. That looks very creepy. And if I actually go ahead and add like some actual like glowing eyes or something in it, then that would be very, very cool. Very cool indeed. Oh man, the synth heads are generally really creepy though, aren't they? So, you know, it doesn't look too bad like that, does it? It looks a bit ugly, but you turn the light on and you can see the eyes and it suddenly looks very scary. But yeah, we'll like put knives and stuff like that in there. Maybe put like bits of chalk and stuff like that. That doesn't line up right there. Just so we can go ahead and have like a cool little dartboard right there. Maybe we'll have like some knives or something on a table here. So players just need to get the impression of the place, don't they? It doesn't need to actually function like a dartboard. We don't need the player to actually be able to throw knives at this. It just needs to give the impression of what we're trying to convey. And yeah, and we'll just put lots of tables and stuff like that. I'm thinking we might get the tables from the... we might go in and get the tables that you can find in the memory den. You know, the ones with the kind of big red velvet material on top of them. And, you know, we'll probably I might just have like some kind of half tables on here, you know, kind of like the ones you see in the diners with like stools on them. So, you know, people can just kind of sit here or maybe sit on this edge here and look down. That might be quite cool. Might have to go in and give them a bit more space, but point is, we need to go ahead and add some seating areas, fix up the walls, add some lighting, and then this place will be pretty darn good. It'll be a nice idea. And it does feel pretty big, but once we add the lighting, it will feel even bigger, won't it? Okay, so time to go ahead and end the stream then. So thank you very much for tuning in, you lot. It's been really, really good to go ahead and see some of you guys tuning in. We've had a good amount of viewers throughout most of the stream. You know, I think the highest I saw the number was probably like 90 viewers or so, and that's pretty good for these building streams, actually. Normally, we don't get that kind of numbers on the building streams. It's normally only on like the gameplay streams. That's when we get the much higher numbers. So thank you very much for watching, guys. This has been the final render, and you have been the audience. Remember to tune into the next live stream. I will obviously post on Facebook. Not Facebook, I don't even have a Facebook. I'll post it onto Twitter and also the YouTube community tab page. And also remember, guys, go ahead and follow the Final Render Discord. There is a link to that in the description. So you can go ahead and go there. You can talk to me, talk to other renderlings in the community, and we just have some good fun in there, really. It's always good to go ahead and, you know, talk to some people outside of just these streams as well. Not only that, but I sometimes miss people's good ideas in the chat and stuff like that. And going ahead and putting it in there is a good way to ensure I see it as well. Or maybe, if you find a beer tap somewhere in the game, tell me where it is in the Discord and link it to me in there. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I've been the Final Render, and you've been the audience. Until next time, I will see you around. Oh, dear. Alright, so say goodbye, gang. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say goodbye for streamers, Dave. Oh, don't play coy. You've already talked to them today. Say goodbye to the people on stream. Bye-bye, Dave. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.